The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink!
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our jolly, humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, December 17th, 2024. This program starts now. Football! 8 days till Christmas. Let's get the shopping in. Okay, let's get the excitement level up. And also, week 15 of the NFL season is over. Yep. This thing's flying so fast. All eyes are on the playoffs. Speaking of playoffs, the college football playoffs start on Friday night into Saturday. Whose dreams will continue after this weekend to win the college football national championship in the first year ever of the 12-team playoff? There was controversy on who got in the final spots. Will any of that matter after this weekend? No. All we are is jacked up for a slate that is going to be electrifying and propel us into a future of college football where we'll be able to find out just who the best team in the country is. We'll be doing a simulcast of the Tennessee-Ohio State game Saturday night live from Columbus, Ohio. We'll be lucky enough to be on the sideline. We cannot wait to broadcast on ESPN2. It'll also be on ABC and ESPN. Now, Saturday's slate is obviously packed with college ball, NFL games.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's when the candy cane games actually kick off for the NFL. So we got 4 college football games, one of them being Friday night, 3 of them on Saturday, 2 NFL games on Saturday, full NFL Sunday slate, Monday night football, then Wednesday Christmas football on Netflix. It is a glorious time to be alive, except for if you're a Chicago Bears fan.
Yikes.
Your team sucks. And then the Raiders.
Yep.
Yeah.
Your team
bad.
sucks.
Yep.
Yeah, we found that out last night. That's no fun.
bad.
But look to next year. Hey, going to rebuild. Are the same general managers going to be there? Are the same coaches going to be there? A lot of question marks, obviously. That is what this time of year is all about. Congratulations to the Minnesota Vikings for tying the NFC North with the Detroit Lions. A lot of very important football games as the season continues to roll on for them. They might end up as the number 1 seed in the NFC.
They could.
Wild.
Don't look now. The cocaine white outfits yesterday looked amazing, and Vanilla Ice crushed it.
Oh, yeah.
I saw he got a little winded, but he hit every single word, not a single flub. Sam Darnold obviously has a fantastic game. The Vikings defense does their thing. Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears and Thomas Brown, interim head coach, who scored his longest career touchdown against the West Virginia team that I was on.
He did.
I was reminded of that last night in the Sugar Bowl. Great run. Great run. We won. By how many?
Quite a bit.
No.
I think
The field
3,
goal, I think.
right?
Yeah, won by 3.
Was that?
There was a freshman kicker on that team.
Nice.
Who needs to remember that? We partied that whole week down in Atlanta, too. That Georgia team, Coach Brown and the boys, salad, water,
Sure.
the whole thing. We were at the same events, pitchers of beer, wings, living, doing our thing. Nobody missed curfew, but we all showed up with that hard edge that's coming back
That's right.
to West Virginia. But nonetheless, Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears were going for it on 4th down. They said, this is our only hope. Sam Darnold doing his thing. Justin Jefferson scoring touchdowns. Showing love to Randy Moss, which we would like to echo the sentiment. Randy, you're all of our favorite players from when we were growing up. We can't thank you enough for everything you've done for ball. We miss you on Sundays. Keep kicking ass, and we'll moss the hell out of cancer alongside of you. Just like Justin Jefferson mentioned, Chris Carter and the boys showed up for him. The all-whites were beautiful.
Clean.
They looked phenomenal. The game was okay, and then in the second game, Falcons-Raiders, game was okay.
Yeah.
It was tough to watch. It was a tough night of football, okay? But week 15, we move on to week 16. We'll have Dahn Orlovsky in a few moments to join us to tell us about that Falcons-Raiders game that maybe you didn't watch all of, because there's another game on that had much bigger implications on. I will have you know, Kirk Cousins threw a touchdown.
He did.
He did.
Go Kirk.
Wow.
Drake London gets in the end zone here early for Kirk Cousins in the first quarter. Is the Atlanta Falcons offense going to turn it on? Is Kirk Cousins going to get back to wheeling and dealing like he was early in the year for the Atlanta Falcons? No, actually, it was a low-scoring affair. It was a bit grimy through a lot of it, and inevitably, Falcons win. Questions still remain. We'll see what Dan Orlovsky has to say about it in about 15 minutes or so. Not alone, lucky to be here with the boys. Talks the tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Con man, how you feeling about the games last night, pal?
I think calling Falcons Raiders okay is kind of disrespectful to the word okay. It was one of the worst games of the year, probably. We should have some sort of rule where if there's two games on Monday night, you can just flip them somehow. So I think Ty brought up they should have just had the Falcons play the Vikings again because it would have been more fun. But honestly, overall feelings for myself, I'm just so happy the Patriots drafted Drake May, man. I mean, we are a lucky franchise to have a young quarterback who's fantastic because that was kind of the whole thing last night was as awesome as the Vikings are, Darnold 1-year deal. Caleb Williams and the Bears, boy, oh boy, who knows? The Raiders, they have no hope. And then the Falcons.
Boy, oh boy.
What the hell is going on? So I'm just happy as a Patriots fan to have a franchise quarterback. But, yeah, those games stunk out loud last night. It was not very fun to watch and stay up for.
Let's go to one half of the hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys' favorite covers in one game.
Yep.
Pushes in the other. Another big-time public win on a Monday night.
Yeah, it was 88% on the Falcons, so that was obviously a huge number and a huge result there for the push. And then, the Vikings. As soon as they came out in those whites and I saw how happy Justin Jefferson was to be wearing those whites, I doubled down bets immediately because when you are wearing a custom, one-of-a-kind jersey and the whole stadium is celebrating as well versus a team that absolutely stinks and is absolute garbage, those custom jerseys, like the unique one-off jerseys, like those are always going to win. Those are always going to take care of business. And when Justin Jefferson, a primetime player like him, is so happy to have it on, you knew he was going to have a big night.
Yeah, he was going to show up. He dropped that one, would have had another touchdown.
Yeah.
I thought my TV was glitching. I thought my TV was glitching when I saw it go in and out of his hands. And I think he was probably thinking the same damn thing. He would inevitably make up for it. Obviously, he's Justin Jefferson. He's, all the LSU boys are kind of who's the best in the league. It's either Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. Devontae Adams is always going to be in the conversation, but with how the Jets season has gone and how the Raiders season went, obviously people aren't talking about it. But watching Justin Jefferson play football is sweet. Even whenever he wasn't getting the ball, they were showing slow motion of his routes and what he was doing. Seemingly always open. Can Sam Darnold continue to find him? Can Kevin O'Connell continue to draw plays where people are wide open? We shall see. Are the Minnesota Vikings going to go on and win the whole damn thing? They sent this yesterday to celebrate the whiteout. I said, it looks pretty cool. It's a real chain, brother.
Yeah, more real than Jalen Hurts.
It's a real chain. Not realer than that.
What?
That was a disco ball, that thing.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that thing looked like one of them drones.
The whole entire thing.
How come?
Jalen Hurts actually got a drone out of the sky in New Jersey and put it on to a necklace.
They found one.
And put the Kango. All right.
The senator, yeah.
Let's just assume, okay, if they find any of these things, they're going to cover them up. All right, we don't need to fall for everything out there, but we certainly need to wonder what the hell's going on. Big time win for the Vikings, and then the Falcons. I don't think anybody believes in them being able to go on a run. So now the big conversation is, when's Penix playing? Yeah. Well, how about a $180 million deal to Kirk Cousins currently? Let's go to 9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler here. Looking so cool. D-Butch, let's start with the Vikings-Bears game. Sam Darnold, Justin Jefferson, B-Flow's defense is obviously harassing the Chicago Bears all night. Chicago Bears were aggressive. It didn't work out for him. Caleb Williams, what are your thoughts? Just if I was to ask you this, 5 years from now, Caleb Williams still in NFL, still on Bears, still playing good football. Do you think this guy has a future in it? Because there was a lot. I know he's getting a lot of pressure. I know the offensive line is Swiss cheese. I know that it is a sieve. I know that he is getting a lot of pressure, but that's going to happen for some people. Now, is the situation terrible? RG3 reminds us, bad situation. He brought it up. We brought it up to Ryan Poles. He thought he changed the culture. They did not. They fire one coach. They fire another coach. They move up a passing game coordinator from the booth to the ground. He is technically like the worst coach in the history of their franchise, even though he's interim head coach. And Ryan Poles now owns the two worst losing streaks in Chicago Bears history in the 2022-2023 season, and then this season of 8 games losing straight. So Bears fans, have not a lot to cheer for. Future of Bears. Do you think they figure it out? is Caleb Williams going to end up being a guy, you think, in your eyes?
You said 5 years from now, if I had to put a bet on it, I would say he's a good quarterback, probably top half of the league quarterback. I know it's ugly at this point. And I think Troy Aikman did a good job, talking about, all the things that go into a quarterback having success. He started talking about his 0-11 start, I believe, and I think a couple years into it, he had a coach come in, Norv Turner, I believe, who said he had played a big role in turning it around for him. So obviously Caleb needs protection up front. They have the weapons on the outside, but it was some breakdown too that Troy was doing too, where it was guys there and he just wasn't seeing it, wasn't anticipating it, wasn't making the throws, not confident in the pocket and the protection. But he has the talent. Some of the other kind of sideline things, definitely got to fix the body language thing. You know how important that is, especially being the quarterback, being the face of the franchise. Everything is being watched. Like this is.
What do you mean? That's not a big deal.
You can't lean in and land on the bench and all that shit. Yeah, if he's playing good ball, it's not a big deal. But you don't want your quarterback, looking like that. Troy Aikman also
he's
said
going through it.
He looks like he's broken.
Yes.
And once you get to that point of a young quarterback where they're almost shell-shocked, he said, hey, that may be the time to pull him. So I think the future is still bright for Caleb. With all that being said, he does have the arm talent. He has the ability. He has the athleticism. It's just getting the right coach, and we assume he'll be on his second coach already going into his second year, but getting the right coach to get him playing on time and figuring out the speed of defenses and offenses on this level.
Yeah, and hitting people when they're open.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. There was a lot of misses from Caleb. Yeah. But that could be because he's scared to death.
Not confident.
I mean, they're showing plays of him jumping and skipping when nobody's trying to tackle him because he thinks people are trying to tackle. Then he's going cross field, throwing the ball up into the sky. It's like he broken, I think, is a good term. But you might, if you're going to get a new coach, you're going to get a new offensive scheme, you would think. Mm-hmm. Who knows, Ryan Poles, how this whole thing shapes up.
Yeah.
Who's the guy in charge over there?
Kevin Warren.
Mm-hmm. He'll get it figured out.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen him publicly make decisions that have worked out a lot.
The feng shui.
Yeah, the feng shui of the new stadium he was in on deciding. How's that guy get that job? Good guy.
Well, I think he's going to be running the draft.
Great guy. Yeah. Great guy. Really good. Good for you. You must be able to sit down and woo some people. Guy was the commissioner of the Big Ten. He must be a great interview in this entire thing. Because everything he's kind of touched is kind of, right?
Turned to poop.
Yeah, gone to poop.
Kind of. And that's not just us speaking about the Bears. We're talking about the Big Ten, the deal that he negotiated TV-wise with Peacock and everybody else, and who gets what and what was potentially possible and what wasn't possible, what was being negotiated, saying we're not doing football, and then everybody saying we are doing football, having to backtrack on that, and basically kind of getting booted out of the Big Ten. And then where does he fall? Oh, now he's running an NFL team. He's not just running an NFL. He's like hands-on everything of an NFL team. If we saw it from Hard Knocks, I don't know how you fail up like that because there's only so many of those jobs around Chicago or around the NFL. So like we just assume he has to get something right at some point. Is that what we think?
I mean,
law of averages say this guy has to get something right at some point. Maybe it is the stadium. Maybe he was put on this earth to talk about the feng shui of suites in the new stadium. But when he comes to running a football team, there's going to have to a lot of decisions be made over there in Chicago. Obviously, the new coach, the new offense, the new GM potentially. Is Ryan Poles going to be able to survive all this, even though there's been a lot of turnover under his watch? How about the ownership? What are they going to do? How much hands-on are they going to have? Everybody wants consistency, but what if you're consistently terrible? How do you go about changing it? And then you think about Caleb Williams, it's like, okay, what if it doesn't work with the next person? And what if it doesn't work with the next? Now all of a sudden you're on that cycle of like, do we ever know if he's going to be a guy or not? And whenever you see things happen like missed throws and how he handles himself, it's like, is he built to be a guy? Especially in a, sorry, Zeke, very tough division.
Brutal.
Like, this isn't just
the
like,
toughest.
Right now it is a, now who knows what the Vikings look like next year at quarterback? We assume Kevin O'Connell will
He's
figure
pretty good.
No matter what.
Detroit Lions, this is MCDC. After a loss, obviously, to the Buffalo Bills. This is MCDC on his weekly hit with local radio.
We can't let these injuries be in vain, man. All of those players helped us get to the point we're at. They helped us get, these last four helped us get to 12 wins. And we owe it to them to finish this thing out. And that's how I view it. And so it means there's another opportunity for other guys, you know? And look, I don't.
Skip.
You know what happens is, you know, you win 11 in a row, you know, and you lose, and then the sky falls. And I hate to say it, but we're not going to be able to win 11 in a row again for the rest of this season. We're just not going to be able to do it. And, you know, what happens is you get used to eating filet, and I'm talking to all of us, and well, everything's good. Life's good, you know, but you forgot what it was like when you had nothing and you ate your molded bread, you know, and it was just fine, and it gave you everything you needed. And sometimes you got to get punched in the mouth and remember what it used to be like to really appreciate where you are. And we'll do that. And so we got a bad taste in our mouth. We got kicked around the other day. We lost a few guys. And you know what? It's exactly what we needed. This is exactly what we needed. So we're going to bounce back. We're going to respond. We got guys that are about to have an unbelievable opportunity here. And we will play the game any way needed to win. We still got a good offense. We got plenty of defensive players. I can go rattle them off right now. We're going to put the best 11 on the field. We're going to freaking cut it loose. We're going to play with our special teams. And I don't give a crap if we got to win by 1 point for the rest of the year. That's what we're going to do. And I'm going to be happy about it. We come out of the game with 50 yards of total offense and we win by 1, you're going to see smiles on my face. I promise you. All right? If it's the other way defensively, we give up 700 yards and we win by 1 point, you're going to see a smile from my ear to ear. All right? I can promise you. So we're going to find a way, and we're going to get it done.
Okay, so he's not only speaking to 97-1, the ticket up there in Detroit. Mm-hmm. He's talking to the fans. He's talking to ownership. He's talking to the coaches. He's talking to the players, which leads us to believe MCDC's a great coach. They're going to be good going forward, regardless of what happens, which goes back to the Caleb convo. Like, hey, Bears, this is the toughest the NFC North has been. Obviously, Green Bay is going to be great. What did you hear from MCDC there, and how do you think his players took that message?
Just setting the tone, and I assume he's giving that same message, probably already gave that same message in the locker room after the game, and that's the tone set in the building. Like, we used to – Robert Matthews used to say it all the time in the locker room. There's no pity parties in the NFL. Nobody cares about the injuries or who's fired or who's going through what. Like, you got to go out there. You get paid to go out there and win football games. And obviously they're dealing with a ton of injuries on the defensive side of the ball. But you look at it, you still got a good football team. You still got a quarterback. You still got good coaches. So setting the expectations in that locker room, in that building, to where nobody's feeling sorry for themselves. We know we got to get back to work. Yeah, we won 11 in a row. We lost 1, but everything's still out there in front of us. And it's no better place to be at this point in the season than controlling your own destiny. Because I've been in the locker room where it's like, yeah, you know, you went out, but we need this to happen and that to happen and this to happen, like the in the hunt shit we saw yesterday. Like, been in the spot and these 3 teams right here where it's all out there. Obviously, everybody has their different issues they're dealing with. But, yeah, I love what I heard from MCDC right there, just setting the tone.
How cool would that be to have that as your coach?
Oh, my God.
Boston Connor.
It's all you're really looking for at this point. Like, of course, everything he says in the media and stuff, but when you can every week, and Foxy has mentioned this, like, he doesn't change week to week, which is the coolest part. Like, he's gone for it on 4th downs, and people have had their problems in the media and just in general because of how aggressive he is. But no matter what,
and the onside kick was egregious.
Yeah, the onside kick was egregious, but you know, also looking back,
but also, there's a chance he thought to himself, if we don't put our defense on the field, nobody can get hurt.
Nobody gets hurt. Boom. We're not going to lose any more guys on defense because we're just going to go with onside kicks. And you also mentioned, like, that was an unbelievable onside kick. Like, he knew Bates had either been working on it or has that, you know, double bounce where it is very possible to get it. But he's just himself all the time. And, like, when you think about the coaches right now that are in their first year and that are maybe not doing so well.
Who are you talking
about? You, just Antonio Pierce, a bunch of guys. And you think about
Who else?
There's a few. There's a few. Yeah, sure. Canales and
Callahan.
Callahan in Tennessee.
Who aren't doing well. I said. There's a
Gerard.
Mike McDonald is doing a great job. Mayo. Yeah, you can throw Mayo. I think he's doing a great job. But when you think about what MCDC was after his first year, to think about where they are right now, that is what everybody wants, and that is why I think a lot of teams who have first-year coaches have so much hope, no matter what their record is, because of the arc that MCDC has gone on and because of the way they've built their entire franchise. Like, I know as a Patriots fan, I want the team to be built the way the Lions built their team, with a Penei Sewell, with big dudes up front, first and foremost, running backs that you can run all over the yard with, and just grit and toughness, man. Like, that is what you want, and that's why, like, the arc of MCDC from the, 11-1 start to now 12-2, we expect them to be a great football team as long as he is the head coach. Like, it is unbelievable.
Now, nothing is guaranteed, obviously, okay? I think Reese Davis got in trouble with this one time. But what would you think the line for Lions and Bears is? Lions at Bears is this weekend?
I'm going to say 8.5.
It's 6.5 right now. I would have.
Shit.
Nothing's a guarantee.
That game ain't going to be.
That should be 13.5.
And by the way,
That's what I was thinking.
going back to that moment, yeah, because the way he asked the question, I subtracted.
You did, yeah.
Yeah, I was at 12.
Cards with me. You were playing me.
Bingo. The
Yep.
way you asked the question, I dropped that thing down. You're 100% right in that whole thing. And maybe this weekend is good for Caleb to get against this defense that is very banged up, and maybe they'll get going. But, like, when you think about MCDC, like, leader of men is what you think. Mm-hmm. Their team's going to be good. You think about the Vikings, Kevin O'Connell. You think not only leader of men, but that guy can draw.
Yeah, QB whisperer.
That guy can do whatever he needs to do. Think about LaFleur. Mm-hmm. Obviously, leader of men, can draw up. Mm-hmm. And he's got a guy. And the Chicago Bears are just sitting there with so many question marks, literally everywhere. And good luck to Kevin Warren making all the decisions. I'm sure he'll get it right. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is the man who called a Monday Night Football game last night. That's right. We all watched it. We all heard him. Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, fresh off the Falcons' win over the Raiders in Las Vegas, Dan Orlovsky.
Hello.
Oh, how many Dans in one frame? You tell me. One, two, three, four. And then is there a big one behind there that's kind of overarching all of them? Do we have 5 Dans in one frame right now?
Yeah.
Who drew that? Who drew a thumbs up? Thumbs up for all that. Hell yeah.
This was this was a gift. Do you guys remember the center Pro Bowler Chris Myers from the Texans? Really good player.
Oh yeah.
You remember him? Yeah, of course.
Weapon.
So we played together in Houston. We know each other a long time. We both kind of were getting done. His wife is a Philly girl. My wife's a Philly girl. Long story. We were moving back home. His house was grander than mine, so it was taking longer to get built. His family needed a place to live for 4 months or something while it was getting done. So his family lived in our house, and this was he had this painted as a thank you for it. So it's sweet.
Dan, good teammate.
That's cool.
Hey,
this was with you.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen you give that point actually, and you almost won us out of Andrew Luck, and potentially RG3 though would have been A-OK regardless. Career's the same. Was that John right there a Picasso? Is that John right there a Picasso? Do you know?
Yeah. I think it's a Picasso for sure.
Oh wow.
Down.
I didn't know that guy was still doing it.
You lucky son of a bitch, Dan.
Who's that? Who's Picasso?
Picasso doesn't use his hands.
Nope.
He doesn't use his feet.
Oh, that's a real thing.
Oh, he
Doesn't use his nose.
No.
Doesn't use his tongue.
I see a lot of creative
no
art
elbows.
on the internet. So puts the paper in his mouth.
No mouth. No mouth. Doesn't wear pants when he's painting either. You know what I'm saying?
I think I'm gonna stop guessing.
All right.
Doesn't use
I
his
think you
butt.
just figured it out. I think there's a chance that's what that John is, because that guy is incredibly impressive. Nonetheless, shout out to Myers for the gift. And Dan just figured it out. Yeah, that's a real thing. You searched now. Yeah, you did. Okay, let's talk about wrap up this NFC North conversation. To say the Chicago Bears are in a terrible predicament would be an understatement, and obviously the Bears have been in a terrible predicament for a long time, but this is the strongest the NFC North has been ever? Is this the strongest the NFC North has ever been?
For as long as I can remember, for sure.
Ever.
Yeah,
and all of the
potentially.
leaders, all the coaches are great, except for one particular team. Now, what do the Vikings do going forward at quarterback? We assume Kevin O'Connell will figure that out regardless. So at the quarterback position at all three of those places, great. Cultures, great, built, cemented. And then you think about the Bears. Caleb Williams have a shot here to get a fair judgment on whether or not he's a guy. I just asked D-Butt what happens to Caleb in 5 years, and I know you probably, and then the sideline shit, and then what they're going through right now. 5 years from now, you think Caleb's okay? 5 years from now, you think the Bears are okay? What are your thoughts on the future of he and the team that he was drafted number 1 overall to?
Yeah, it's the most important hire in the history of the organization, their next head coach. So do I think he'll be okay? I have to see what that answer is. I have to see who they hire. He's talented enough. You know, this division, the NFC North, is a lot like the AFC West when it comes to the teams that have and have not. Caleb, here's my concern about Caleb. He hasn't improved this year. He's the only quarterback as a rookie this season playing that hasn't improved and hasn't developed. All the other guys have. Jaden absolutely has. He's gotten better throughout the year. Drake May has gotten better throughout the year. Bo Nix unquestionably has gotten better throughout the year. And the stuff that has been the issue or the wart or the concern or question coming out of school is still very much so the concern. The playmaking, right? He's still a playmaker, and he's not enough of a quarterback right now. What I mean by that is you talk about some of the easy misses. You talk about playing in rhythm. You talk about taking easy completions, seeing the field clean, getting the ball out in rhythm on timing. That's the quarterbacking of the position. He doesn't do that consistently enough. He didn't at USC. He's got 4 plays a game that there's 5 people on the planet that are going to make, but that is only going to last so long. He's still so young, but you got to figure out who they hire before answering that question.
Kevin Warren will get it right. We know that. And so will Ryan Poles. And good luck to Caleb. Hey, we can't wait to watch you, bub. Good luck out there. Hard job, NFL quarterback.
I don't love the body language. I don't love it. I don't love, you know, the yesterday's body language. We all know it sucks. Everybody knows, but I don't love that where it's like, oh my gosh, this is the worst. I want somebody to not blink in that situation if I was a team.
I'm not going to talk about any of that because I've spoke about other teams and how it all looks with the way they act. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I've been attacked. Now, inevitably right, but that doesn't matter. That's neither here nor there. Caleb's going through it for the first time, long time. Hopefully they do get it right going forward. Let's talk about the game that you called, Falcons, Raiders. Big conversation over there is, was Kirk Cousins going to be able to bounce back? Was Kirk Cousins going to be able to do some things? Threw a touchdown, first quarter. First time in 5 games. First touchdown in 5 games. Had 8 picks going into this. No touchdowns in the last 4 weeks. Then he throws a touchdown first quarter. This game, I didn't watch all of it. I was keeping up with the score and everything. Seemed like it was a terrible football game. Mm-hmm. And did Kirk Cousins answer any questions last night while you were on the call, Dano?
No, I would say he exacerbated those questions and concerns, you know? So I'll take you guys into the production meetings and the conversations with Kirk in Atlanta, even before we get to the game. You know, talking with Kirk, some of the takeaways that were a little bit surprising, and I'm a massive fan of his, was, you know, asking why the struggles or, you know, how do you explain them? And he couldn't. You know, in his words, he was like, honestly, I walk away going, why did I do that? You know, and so for a guy who's played as long as he's played, and this play, that interception is such an indicative thing. I understand the ball gets tipped. It's probably getting picked anyway. But the takeaway watching the game was he doesn't trust his eyes right now. He doesn't have a confidence in what he's seeing. And I said to him on the production meeting, I'm like, one of my things that I've loved about you as a player is you play convicted. You put your back foot in that ground and that ball comes out and you trust what you see. And sometimes it does lead to an interception, but 8 out of 10 times it leads to really good plays. And watching last night, it just doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like he trusts in what he's seeing. And when he's saying, I don't know why some of the things are happening turnover-wise, and he said he came out of the bye week. You know, they had their bye week 12. And he went into the bye thinking, I got to push the ball downfield more. I got to be more aggressive. I got to get Drake London more involved. And he thinks that maybe him trying to do too much or live up to the expectations lessened the play and created some of those mistakes. But it is really interesting to watch kind of how he's going about playing. He looks nothing like the player that he used to be. He won't move in the pocket. He won't get through progressions that much right now. And physically, he just, I don't want to make people think he was Josh Allen at some point, but he could throw it. Kirk he doesn't, last night I'm going, at some point we got to put our foot in the ground and rip a throw. And that's just not happening. And so I just think he's stuck. I think he's in a mental pretzel.
You think it's a confidence thing? It sounds like it's a confidence thing. Because you talk about conviction. Conviction normally comes with confidence. Letting it rip normally comes with confidence. Is it not understanding the offense that they're running down there? Is it not a belief in himself? What do you think?
I think it's definitely an understanding. He's a smart guy, and he's played in a lot of football. I think that there is a reality of super nerd football stuff. Okay, so his whole career has been play action pass, right? And I've said this before. When you are a predominantly play action passing quarterback, you don't have to be totally locked into what pre-snap is happening defensively. I don't necessarily need to know exactly what the protection is, because most play-action protections pick up any blitz and the offensive line has to handle it. I don't necessarily have to know exactly what the coverage is, because I'm turning my back to the defense, so it can change and it doesn't matter. I'm making a play fake and I'm trying to find an area or a person. If it's cover 1, cover 2, cover 3, it doesn't matter. I'm trying to find an area and a person. He's always excelled at that. He's been the leading play-action passing quarterback in the NFL over the last 5 years. This year, they don't run any of it. They're the least play-action pass offense in the NFL. And so there's a ton more drop back, right? And so there is the demand of, okay, you need to know pressures a little bit more. You need to know how to adjust protections more. You need to be able to see the coverage and what the picture is and the rotation and how it changes from, 2 safeties to 1 safety, or man to zone, or vice versa. And that has to be... And he doesn't have a ton of reps doing that. And I think they are, scheme-wise, a little bit stuck in trying to figure out, well, what's best for the offensive line and the tight ends and the receivers and Kirk. And he's, again, I don't think he's got a great comfort right now in what he's seeing and how he is playing.
Okay, so hopefully he's able to find that confidence, but it's tough to remain confident, especially if you have some struggles and the whole world is calling for the number 8 overall pick, even though you've signed a $180 million deal to be the Atlanta Falcons quarterback. How much noise was that? How much noise is that? None?
I don't think it's happening. Right, and I love Raheem. Raheem was great talking to, and Raheem was like, listen, he said, one, I came here with a very clear plan. I have watched organizations constantly fail the quarterback and constantly ruin their future because they play their young quarterback too quickly. He's like, I'm not doing it. We have a very clear plan for our future. And he referenced, we want to be built like the Chiefs. I know you guys mentioned this before. I think it was Boston Connor. We want to be built like the Lions. Like that is their vision in Atlanta. And they want to continue to build up their football team talent-wise. And they aren't going to risk the 25 or 26 or 27 season to get Michael Penix on the field. That's just not what their plan is. I also think there is just the reality that they're a game back. God knows anything can happen in this league. They signed Kirk to that deal. So it's, Raheem said, if you go to Michael Penix, you don't go back. We cannot go back. And so, that's, you stick your hand up in the air and admit we made a mistake in many ways if you make that move right now. So I just don't believe that they want to do it. Do I think it's a conversation in their building? I do.
Okay, so it's conversation, but you don't think it's part of the plan coming into the year or currently the plan. And you talk about being a game out, getting a win last night, obviously a big deal no matter how it looks. Tampa Bay Buccaneers look vastly different than the Atlanta Falcons right now. I mean, and you talk about confidence, Baker Mayfield has all of it right now happening with him. You mentioned the Chiefs there in your conversation. Remember, Patrick Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith for a year, played in the last week because the Chiefs already locked up home field advantage. He cooked the Denver Broncos. They trade Alex Smith out of town. It's Patrick Mahomes' team. Boom. That's all she wrote. Now, speaking of that particular team, D-Butt has a question for you.
Yeah, can I hit one more thing real quick, Pete? Just real quickly. I'm sorry.
No.
Because I have seen the narrative of well, if you had seen anything from Michael Penix in practice, you would have made the move. I talked to a lot of people there. They love him. They think he is going to be tremendous. It is more their plan and philosophy rather than what they've seen from him in practice. They love him.
Okay, and to that note about the Chiefs, what Patrick Mahomes is doing in practice, I guess everybody was like, this is the guy, this is the guy, this is the guy. I think Colquitt even told me, he was the punter for the team, and was like, this dude is phenomenal.
Look out.
And you're talking about just being filthy at football. That would inevitably end up being true. Maybe Penix is the same exact trajectory. We shall see. But let's get back to the Kansas City Chiefs, the back-to-back Super Bowl champions, trying to do something that no team has ever done, win 3 straight.
Yeah, before I ask you the question, Connor, you gave me 4 teams this year that haven't scored 30 points yet. What were the 4 teams?
Yeah, it was the New York Football Giants. Makes sense.
Crop.
The Raiders.
Crop.
The Patriots. They've been close.
Crop.
And the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, so with that being said, wow, blew my mind, Dan. But Carson may be in there, Patrick may be in there, but regardless of who's in there, what have you seen from this, or what haven't you seen from this Chiefs offense so far this year?
There's nothing about their offense that puts fear in a defense. Outside of Patrick's playmaking ability, they don't scare you. They obviously miss vertical speed. There is not Xavier Worthy goes deep occasionally, but he hasn't killed people with it this year. I think he has, the big ball against the Chargers comes to mind about 4 or 5 weeks ago when Rashee Rice got hurt, but they don't scare you vertically. And so teams shrink down, so they condense and play closer to the football so consistently. Do I think that there are 4 plays a game that Patrick misses a read and or a throw because he's feeling something in the pocket because he's been hit so much this year that's not there? Yes, absolutely. The biggest issue, D-Butt, is there are 5-6 times a game where they call something, they dial something up, they try to scheme something up to get an explosive play. I think they have the 3rd least amount of explosive plays in the NFL. They call it, and it's there. And the offensive line just cannot hold up. And they'll try to chip with the tight end. They'll try to scrape the back across. The offensive line is just ruining plays in just being black and white. The offensive line just ruins their explosive plays. And so,
Ruins.
There's the reality of you're trying to call plays offensively. If you're Andy Reid and Matt Nagy, you call plays offensively from a defensive mindset rather than an offensive or an attacking mindset. We watched Kevin O'Connell and Ben Johnson and Liam Cohen and Joe. They attack. And constantly offensive. They got to think, okay, well, we can't go deep and we can't protect. And how do we make sure he doesn't get hurt? So it's just it's this scared style of play right now because the offensive line is just so significantly worse than it has been the past 2 years.
There's no room to ruin.
No, you can't
Stuff
ruin
like that, especially with how close they've been playing these games. You can't ruin plays.
No, you can't.
Be dumb.
But I love that old Rooney Cooney slid his ass right out the tackle and was like, if nobody else can do it, I guess I'll do it. I'm excited to hear
it. Made them worse inside. It made them the interior of the offensive line worse.
Yeah, you robbed Peter to pay Paul, but out there at tackle is the most important part. I'll be excited to hear AQ's thoughts tomorrow. It can't be ruined place.
No.
It can't be ruined place.
How you ruin season.
Yeah, you can't ruin it.
Ruin your quarterback.
You say that word like an asshole. You know that.
Ruin.
Nope.
That's not how you pronounce that word.
That's a different word.
What is it? Ruin?
Yes.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, it's better.
The English language, he says that, yes.
Ruin is historically a part of, the Mexican ruins.
Okay.
Also a word.
Yeah, that is. You're
Spelled
doing great.
the same way.
You're doing great.
Yes,
You're doing absolutely.
Spelled the same way.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
Pronounced differently though.
You're pronouncing it rune, which is like RUNE.
Which also a word.
Yeah.
Have Boston Connor say it.
Ruin.
Say yesterday.
Yeah, he says it the same as me.
Yesterday.
Okay, say the day that is before today.
Yesterday.
Okay, you say it, Dan?
Yesterday.
Yeah, see? That's what we're talking about. That's what we're saying. What you do to the English language is something, but we appreciate it. We appreciate it. Because I say a lot of words like an asshole. Speaking of, let's talk about some Johns. Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Dan, let's go to the great Pennsylvania ruins and 2 of your favorite teams. Steelers and Eagles faced off on Sunday. And, all the talk coming into that game was the Eagles passing offense and Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, and they looked incredible on Sunday. But I saw you put out a tweet about how Jalen was against, I believe, one high.
Single high.
Yeah, single high. Yeah. And watching that game, as someone who played just barely a little bit of college football, I was like, oh, the Steelers are in man. Okay. Why did they decide, hey, let's give Jalen the picture so easy before every snap, and then Jalen just took advantage of it, correct?
Yeah, totally. I didn't know you played college football. I need to get that story.
Well, I was on the
what
roster.
position?
I was on the roster, outside linebacker. I'm playing as
He was quarterback, wide receiver on offense, safety on defense. Gets to college, they tell him you need to gain about 30 pounds.
Yeah.
With the speed you got, bub, we're going to put you at outside linebacker.
Yeah, never really
and he
played.
did. He did gain 30.
It wasn't a good 30, but yeah.
It was a Pittsburgh 30.
Yeah.
He put on a Pittsburgh 30, which is good in some places.
Yeah, so one, that's their style. Tone, like that is schematically, that's who the Steelers are. They're going to play single high safety. I think they play it as much, if not more than anybody in the NFL, partly because of their pass rush, partly because they want to make you one-dimensional essentially, and they think, okay, if we line up in single high and we almost invite teams to throw the football, because as an offense, we always want to throw the ball against single high because it's easier. We can get the ball to perimeter, easier to see, more than too high. So like you invite the throw, and they want obviously their pass rushers to hunt with Highsmith and Herbig and TJ Watt. I think the thing that kind of got lost track in that game was the reason why mainly the Eagles had so much, the offensive line. Like they can line up and chuck it up and down the field against Pittsburgh because they got their offensive line. Like Lane Johnson was absolutely remarkable in that game. So you are getting dared by Pittsburgh defensively to throw the football, and you're like, sweet. That's what we want to do. And that's why last week it wasn't like, don't overreact to the pass game. They are the ultimate pick your poison offense right now in the NFL. If you want to commit to stopping the run, this is what they're going to do. And it's because the offensive line is so good. Obviously, the perimeter players. A.J. Brown, he's the best receiver in football versus man coverage this year. You can't cover him in man-to-man. So, that's just the challenge that they present to teams. And because their offensive line is so freaking good, they can do it.
So freaking good in Philly. Lane Johnson, by the way.
Man,
dude, he's so good.
That was an awesome matchup.
Yeah, him and TJ?
It was awesome.
Yeah, just watching two Goliaths go after it, and the amount of respect they have was for each other was very evident after TJ had that low ankle sprain. Hopefully, he's back on the field quickly and efficiently. Good for the Eagles getting it figured out, and shout out to Jalen for telling everybody to suck it.
Yeah.
Much. And Sirianni's doing the same damn thing.
Oh, yeah.
Ty has a question for you, Dan O.
Yeah, Dan, I think this stuff gets blown out of proportion in the media quite a bit, but Sunday, Joe Burrow and Zach Taylor had like a very, kind of public spat. There's lip reading come out where Joe Burrow's basically saying like, hey, we were fucking terrible today. Zach Taylor, obviously pretty good offensive coordinator, but for whatever reason, they just stink. Do you think there's more that meets the eye there? I don't think they're going to move on, obviously, because historically the Bengals aren't going to pay two coaches at the same time, but also like they definitely can't afford to have another year like this year where Joe Burrow has an MVP caliber season and they're just completely out of the equation for the playoffs. So how do you think that whole situation is going to play out?
Yeah, I don't think that situation is anything. I think that's just Joe's an ultimate competitor and obviously had a frustrating season. He didn't play well on Sunday either. He wasn't the reason that they won the game, essentially. Here's what I do know. Zach Taylor's a really good coach. This is a really good offense. That's not the problem in Cincinnati. The problem in Cincinnati is the defensive side of the football. So if there's going to be a change made, it's going to be a change that has some attachment to the defense, either scheme or people. But offensively, I just don't believe that changing the head coach and play caller is going to drastically change the future. They got to get better players and play better defense.
And Brown's not going to pay another head coach.
No.
If he has to pay Zach Taylor still. Correct. And how that whole thing's going to go, it's going to remain the same. I don't know what's up with that Lou Anarumo defense. It's been tough to watch.
Yeah.
Love the way Joey has been playing. And maybe next year for Bengals. Maybe next year.
Maybe don't start 1-4 every year, too.
Yeah.
Well,
might help.
If they're able to stop.
You're not going to get anybody better either. Like if you're Cincinnati, who are you going to go get as a head coach that is more accomplished than Zach Taylor?
We don't know.
Well, there's someone that might be on the trade block.
Yeah, which, speaking of, Conman has a question for you.
Yeah, Orlovsky, is Kyle Shanahan getting traded to the Chicago Bears? Because that's kind of the wheel that was spinning this morning on Get Up. And do you think that the 49ers are going to blow it up in some sort of
Don't look off. Don't look off camera and act disgusted. You've been a part of some stupid combos.
Your show, brother.
This is your show.
Yeah.
This is your lower third.
Yeah, that's Greeny's show.
We love Greeny. Multiple Hall of Fames. We love him. We love him.
Dan, Get Up. We know that.
Yeah, it is. Dan Orlovsky's.
I don't think he's getting traded. No, I think that would be ridiculous if you're San Francisco. Trade Kyle Shanahan for what?
First round pick.
Picks?
Boom. Couple picks.
Remember Herm Edwards was traded
Yep.
from the Jets to the Chiefs. Tomlin was potentially going to get traded a couple years ago.
Gruden.
I believe Gruden was traded
From to the Raiders from Tampa. Okay, so coaching trades have happened before. It's being talked about for a reason. And if Greeny's talking about it, somebody has mentioned it in that world. Are they okay, that Niners team, in the future? They got to pay Brock Purdy still.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that is still a very big thing. And then now people I'm hearing say, don't pay Brock Purdy.
Oh, yeah.
What are your thoughts on the future over there in the Niners?
Yeah, there's a lot more unknowns than they've had in the years past. You have an unknown with what they're going to do with Brock Purdy. Now, I would expect them to pay Brock Purdy. You have the unknown of McCaffrey's health. You have the unknown of Ayuk and kind of that. Remember, Ayuk's name was getting flirted around with trade. So how healthy is he going to be? The offensive line took a huge step back this year. Trent Williams got hurt. The defense was decimated by injuries. And so I think the results of the season are way more kind of attached to injury rather than incapability. So I'm not overreacting to, wow, did San Francisco, did the window close? I think they still have to, they just have to make a new window. But if I were San Francisco, I don't think you go about trading a top 5 coach in the NFL for a couple picks and thinking you're just going to replace him. Now, here's the thing. Kyle's amazing. I think there's a lot of really, really good young coaches in the NFL right now that are attached to his tree. Like Ben Johnson obviously is one of them. And these guys are great leaders as well. They're not just brilliant offensive minds, but Joe Brady is having an unbelievable season in Buffalo. Liam Cohen in Tampa is going to be head coach in this league. So, I think that there is some schematic things that you go, well, he does a lot of the same stuff as Kyle. You got to figure out if those guys are even remotely close to the leader that Kyle is.
Oh, I thought you were saying the Niners could kick Kyle Shanahan out and bring somebody in from his tree to maybe get a different taste. But instead you're saying, why the hell would you get rid of Kyle Shanahan when he has birthed basically the next generation of head coaches around the NFL? There's a lot of teams hoping for Ben Johnson to choose their particular program. Maybe. There's people that have first-year head coach that are saying, you know what, Ben Johnson wants to come.
One and done.
We're 100% in.
I'm telling you, man, I'd go after Liam Cohen. I would be trying to find the next Matt LaFleur. That's what I would be doing. A guy that has been trained in the same world. Liam Cohen was under. I would try to find that guy.
Yeah, but what if you need some accountability in your building? What if your culture is like hey, we don't take care of the little things, and they don't show up until the biggest game of the year with the playoffs on the line in the biggest moment and get absolutely slaughtered. Who do you think about for that particular situation? Vrabel's still out there.
Yes.
Vrabel's still out there. Bill Belichick has an opt-out of a deal.
I think Vrabel's spoken for.
Oh.
What do you mean?
What's that mean?
Married? He is married, right?
He is married.
I think he's married, yeah.
Spoken for how?
What do you mean?
Where?
I just think that Vrabel's probably got a very clear sight and path with where he is going to be likely coaching.
Where?
College or pro?
Say it.
He's saying Ohio State.
He'll be coaching football.
Pro or college?
I just.
So we wouldn't have thought college,
I'm not a
right?
reporter.
The answer is so it's
I'm not
college.
a reporter.
O-H-I-O. Is that what you're saying?
I think that there's a vision for where he kind of likely ends up coaching next year.
Okay, Dan.
I'm not a reporter.
Dan, no.
Dan,
Not a reporter.
you are.
You're acting
Listen,
like
I've come on your show before and I said I've heard something and it got me in a lot of trouble, so I'm trying not to do that.
Yeah, just don't delete any tweets. Ladies and gentlemen, living legend, absolute stud. You were right about that. Dan Orlovsky. So Dano said
he's got some inside info.
He's got ears to the ground.
Yeah.
Plugged in.
Ryan Day, is that what he just said?
Ryan
right there?
Day, bye-bye.
No way. Ryan Day loves where he's at. He looks happy as a clam.
Worst days of my life.
Yeah.
Big playoff game coming up.
Outside my dad dying.
Better win it.
Worst days of my life losing to Michigan.
And that could never happen again.
And then they go and do it.
Yeah.
And then he's on the field. How is this my fucking life?
Shell shock.
No.
Oh, my God.
I would not want to be that guy.
I would like to let Ryan Day know that I like him.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of college teams that would be like, give us Ryan Day.
Yeah.
How many games are we going to win with Ryan Day? Let's do it. But, boy, you lose 4 straight to Michigan. I don't know if anybody wants to be in the state of Ohio associated with the football team. Yeah. So this weekend against Tennessee, Saturday night, that's going to have to be a win.
Yeah. No matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to have to be a win.
That's going to have to be a win. You're losing to the 4th best team in the SEC at home in the cold. You lose to Michigan, they got nobody. They've had 4 quarterbacks play. One of them retired. And they've got no teams. They're not making it. We have our best team that we've had. We've spent more money than we've had. You lose to Michigan? Okay, sweet. Then Tennessee from the south, they come in here. It's 20 degrees and rainy. And it's like Ryan Day, I like him as a person. But, boy, I couldn't imagine being the Ohio State Buckeye coach in what he's been going through. So maybe Vrabel is the guy that says, you know what? Fuck it. I'll do it. What are they going to say to me? Nothing. That's what I thought. And he'll be running sprints with the boys.
Yeah.
Does he want to get back into college? Maybe, because college is becoming much more professional, especially if you listen to Bill Belichick and Michael Lombardi, who are dabbling in that world as we speak. Speaking of world, let's go into the NBA. Big one tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know this is happening?
Oh, yeah. NBA Cup.
The draft tonight.
NBA Cup. No.
Big name.
It's not the draft.
Oh.
It's not a schedule release. The schedule's already been out. They are in the middle of their season right now.
Okay.
It is Bucks Thunder NBA Cup Championship. Who will be hanging a banner after this evening? Joining us, ladies and gentlemen, senior NBA insider at ESPN, Shams Charania. Shams, how you doing? You look fantastically cool. I assume you're there for the NBA Cup Championship that's happening this evening?
I am in Las Vegas. NBA Today coming up, NBA Countdown. I'm here for all the festivities in Las Vegas. And to me, Pat, the two MVP candidates facing off tonight in Giannis Antetokounmpo, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the numbers that they both put up, you have to throw Nikola Jokic in that same category, but it's great to be here and to see 2 MVP candidates at their highest level, at their peak, facing off tonight.
So the big thing, and let's just reiterate it because there's no way anybody has paid attention enough. Everybody on the team gets $250,000 if you win this thing, including like bench.
500,000, I believe.
Okay, so
500,000 for the winners,
which was the big topic last year because the boys were playing hard for the end of the bench. Was kind of like the selling point, and also the whole song and dance with the new courts, and it was Lakers Pacers, so much bigger markets, especially when Indianapolis is involved. LeBron James, Tyrese Halliburton, superstars. Now Giannis, SGA doing it for the boys. Good luck to both of them. We'll be watching. The world will be watching, even though numbers say that nobody is currently at this point. Let's remember that the NBA season doesn't really start until after Fat Santa comes down the chimney. Let's talk about some things happening around the NBA world. LeBron James disappeared. Is that what I heard? So he stepped away from the team. Then JJ Redick said, I don't know when he's coming back. Then I think you reported nobody has heard from him. He's back. Where was he? Is he okay?
Yeah, I'm sure JJ Redick knew where LeBron James was. Yeah, I'll break some news. This is where LeBron James spent those few days. He was in one of his homes. He has many homes around the world. He was in one of those homes, not sure where, but he was in one of those homes resting, rehabbing, getting his body right. Pat, this is someone who's about to turn 40 years old at the end of the month. He's in his 22nd season. If he plays one more year after this, which I expect him to, that gives him 23 NBA seasons, an NBA record. I think if he wants to take a few days to recharge, recalibrate, the Lakers were on board with it, obviously, as well. I think he's justified if he wants to take a 3 or 4 day getting his body right. He did deal with some bumps and bruises. He got kneed last week in a game. He also been dealing with some foot soreness that he said the other night he's going to be dealing with this throughout the season. And if you remember a couple years ago, he did play the second half of a full season with a tendon tear in that foot. So LeBron James has played through stuff later here in his career, and I think if he wants to take a 4 day break at one of his homes,
Agreed.
I think he's allowed to do so.
Agreed. It wasn't laid out that way, so then inevitably, because of things that he has said on camera about people that are currently involved in massively serious investigations, there's going to be a lot of theories that are going to start up. I thought we were never going to see him again.
My phone was blowing up. My phone was blowing up with said conspiracy theories, by the way.
Yeah, but
which
also
is
a lot of
insane to
things
me,
that say...
'cause I knew the whole time where he was.
A lot of believable potential things, especially whenever JJ's saying, I haven't talked to him. Yeah. Then you're coming out saying, we don't know where he's at. And I'm just happy he's back, and that's seemingly not a thing. Great to see you back, King.
Hell yeah, bro.
Great to see you back, Bron. Let's talk about the Prince, his son, Bronny. Did he go for 30 points or something like that? The way the internet talks is he doesn't know how to put the ball in the bucket, so he goes for 30 points. Is Bronny starting to hit his stride here?
Yeah, I mean, he's played the last 3 G League games. He even played on the road. You know, they started the season. They've had an open dialogue. The Lakers front office, his side, just figuring out exactly what is best for him in his development plan. Is it being on the active roster? Is it playing in the G League? Last 3 G League games, he missed some time. He missed a couple weeks with a heel contusion. He came back 21 points a game the last 3 G League games, including that 30-point game. And now the big thing that's coming around the horizon that a lot of people were wondering about was the NBA G League Showcase, December 19th to December 22nd in Orlando. I'm told Bronny James will participate in the NBA G League Showcase.
Whoa!
The Lakers, they spoke about it, and Bronny James was open to the plan that was laid out for him to go to Orlando later this week and play in the G League Showcase in front of all the teams, in front of the national audience. And Bronny James will be at the G League Showcase, so he is going on the road.
Okay, so take the show on the road. We appreciate that. Can't wait to see where he goes. Remember, Rich Paul had this kind of figured out during draft. There's going to be a process. Bronny's nowhere near the player that he's going to become. We're looking for a team that's able to invest in him and his future. Obviously, with everything that LeBron has done for the Lakers, happy International Women's Day. He was able, in everything he's accomplished, been able to get that spot. The spot. Good luck to them. I'm happy it's happening. Now, we only have a few minutes left, but there was something that happened in your life. Connor has a question.
Yeah, Shams, you reported Jimmy Butler was basically going to get traded or was thinking about being traded, and then Jimmy Butler's agent kind of pooped on your head, basically saying, yeah, this guy's full of shit. He has no idea what he's talking about. You responded saying, hey, I stand on business. This is what I do. But what's going on here? What's the situation?
Yeah, the situation is I 1,000% stand on the reporting. This is probably the most vetted story I think I've ever put out. I'm that confident in this story. This is exactly where it is. The Heat are open to listening to trade offers for Jimmy Butler. That's what sources told me last week. That remains to be the case. There's no urgency, though. He's on a $49 million contract this year. He's got a $52 million player option for next year. And they don't really have much fear that if let's say he goes into free agency, they're not that fearful that there's a team out there that's going to be willing to give him, because there's only a few teams with cap space. So who's out there is going to give that to him? They're confident where they're at. The reporting that I had is that if he were to be moved, 4 destinations he would be open to, from what I'm told has been communicated around the league. That's the Mavericks, that's the Rockets, the Warriors, and then the Suns. And that all remains to be the case, 1,000%. And it's fully vetted.
Okay, well, I appreciate you staying on business. Don't like this agent, try and take a shot at Shams when he's new to a senior insider position at a new place. Know that we're on your side. We respect and appreciate it. And why not Jimmy Butler to the Pacers? Ladies and gentlemen, senior NBA insider at ESPN, the handsome Shams Charania. Maybe Zion, I heard he's getting traded.
Zion to the Pacers,
We'll have to talk about it. Will he be able to play this year, next year? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Got a sweet tat on his back. Mm-hmm. Speaking about back, guess who's back in the next hour?
Who's that?
Aaron Rodgers, fresh off a win.
Wow.
Hey.
AJ Hawk will be here. Great conversation will happen. All you got to do is be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life, like our friends at Dude Wipes. And then take 3. We'll see you on the other side.
It's impossible to be at the top at both of those, essentially. Like, it's
Dan. Another farting Dan Orlovsky situation just took place.
dumps.
What do you mean? It's unbelievable.
Your butt was just talking. Okay,
I did not fart.
Dan. This is 2 times now, Dan. This is the Orlovsky thing.
You guys being serious right now, or are you messing with me?
Dan, listen to this clip. This is you just moments ago.
It's impossible to be at the top at both of those. Essentially, like it's
Dan.
I mean, undeniable.
You guys definitely just freaking idiots.
We swear.
You guys 1,000%
No, we swear. We swear.
No way.
No one did that, Dan.
Those are cartoons.
What did you eat?
I haven't even ate two guys.
Hey, if I were you right now, I'd go grab some food.
My wife texted me. She said, "Oh my gosh, McAfee Show, I'm dead." I go, "Babe, I promise you on everything, I did not fart."
Who runs your Twitter account?
AB.
I do.
What's this all about? I would like to know, in that situation where your butthole started talking, what did I do?
I'm here to be serious with you, man.
What are you, chugging a glass of milk, eating some fruit over there, get you some coffee, get that butthole a little bit more active?
I haven't ate. I'm eating yogurt. I have 1,000 text messages right now of people going, "Oh my gosh." I'm like, I just wanted to have like a quiet Tuesday.
I don't even know why we're going to have another hour. Maybe we run that clip.
Just on loop.
We have the video. Shams, let's let you judge here.
It's impossible to be at the top at both of those. Essentially, like it's.
I need to hear the context. I want to give our guys.
Oh, Shams, shut up. He said it sounded like a fart.
What did AJ vote?
It's a fart all day long, Kirk. You know that.
Has anybody voted no?
Dan.
I'll be the captain of Team No today.
We need you to do a tie-breaking vote. Is that okay?
Sounds good to me. It's impossible to be at the top at both of those. Essentially, like it's.
There's no doubt. I mean, I like how he just kept on going right there.
When he was talking, he didn't even break stride as that thing came out. He went and got the buggy, went to the store, grabbed some dude wipes to wipe those ass cheeks, just like I assume you do as well, Cabal.
You have to go dry, wet, dry. Toilet paper, white toilet paper. If not, you're really risking the rest of the day having the swamp ass. You know, Dan Orlovsky, man, he got to accept that, man. He got to wear that with a pride. One thing that really bothers me when people do not take credit for it. You know, if somebody says, "Oh, that was you that farted," I get upset when it wasn't me. I'm like, no, when have I ever not claimed it when it was mine? You should claim it.
But all those airports, people are traveling today, looking up at the ESPN. Dan Orlovsky farts. What's wrong with this guy?
The closed captioning person, whoever it is, they got it. I believe it said inaudible, muffled, and it said Dan farts, ! I think a couple times.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
What?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig!
Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our holly jolly humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, December 17, 2024. Hour 2 of the program starts now.
Football!
He's the greatest. We're lucky to talk about it every single day. The Talks the Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Oh, I see the Celtics jacket on. How does it feel knowing they're not in the NBA Cup Championship? Oh! You guys suck.
Stink.
See this thing right here? This isn't an NBA Cup. Who gives a shit championship, okay? It's the one that people have parades for. You can go ahead and have the, hey, hang a banner out in the lobby. Everybody can see it and touch it. It's real cool. No one gives a shit about that, okay? To be honest, no one gives a shit about the league anyways. Right now, the only thing people give a shit about is football. So when it matters and we're playing for this thing, then you can see what the Celtics are doing.
When it matters, and when it doesn't, it don't.
Bingo.
You know what I mean? And if they pay for a ticket, you got to give them a show. And I feel like the NBA people are believing that there hasn't been a good show yet. But tonight, the NBA Cup, that type of intensity, that type of, history on the line.
Couldn't sleep last night.
It's me neither. I woke up this morning.
I know. Holy
2:45 a.m.
Yeah.
It's NBA Cup Finals.
NBA Cup Finals day.
It's NBA Cup Finals.
We
day.
made it.
Holy hell. We are 8 days away from Christmas, but who cares?
Yeah, Santa comes tonight.
It's the NBA Cup Championship. We got the Greek Freak taking on SGA. What a time to be alive.
I know.
Shout out to the NBA. Nobody's watching it, but you should think about it tonight. There's a banner on the line. One half of the Hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys AP Tone is here.
I'm in a big let's play a game mood today. Higher ratings tonight. NBA Cup or Scooter's Coffee Frisco Bowl.
What is the Scooter's Coffee Frisco Bowl?
That'd be the Memphis Tigers taking on the West Virginia Mountaineers in the Scooter's Coffee Frisco Bowl.
The West Virginia Mountaineers playing tonight in the bowl game. Of course I knew that.
Yep.
Of course I knew that. West Virginia Mountaineers going to win the Scooter's Coffee Frisco Bowl.
Sure.
And I would like all those guys on that team to have fun. Enjoy it. Enjoy it all. Mm-hmm. This is the last hoorah of the Neil Brown era. Mm-hmm. And thank you to all the coaches and players that have, committed to being West Virginia Mountaineers and putting a uniform on and going on a field and representing our team in our university, in our school, in the state of West Virginia. Now, the way you went about doing it certainly didn't have enough wins, but with class, we appreciate. I could care fuck less about this bowl game today.
Sure.
I do not care.
I have been led to believe that McGee may, in some way, shape, or form, be on the call.
Ryan McGee?
Yeah, not too long ago, McGee tweeted out a care package that Scooter's Coffee sent for him for the Scooter's Coffee Frisco Bowl. Had like a nice tumbler, a couple bags of coffee, Scooter's Coffee.
Any...
No Bojangles, unfortunately. They did not send any Bojangles, but it's in Memphis. I assume there's a Bojangles or two down in Memphis. So if, no, it's not in Memphis.
Frisco.
No, it's Frisco, Texas.
Frisco, Texas, obviously, for the Scooter's Coffee Frisco Bowl. Yeah, you can see they sent him, Scooter's Coffee football that, you can play out in the tailgating, throw that around. A couple koozies. And he did say, thank you for the gloves, because it might be a little chilly out there. Those are Scooter's Coffee gloves. So, I don't know. I mean, if McGee's on the call, you bet your ass I'm going to be tuning in.
And just for not only McGee, but also this is your chance to see this West Virginia team look the way it looks right now.
Present form.
It is not going to look this way ever again. Mm-mm. That is never again. Everything about it's never going to look the way it looks. So maybe it is a nice little take the tractor another round.
Sure.
You think they take their pads off after the game, or Rich Rod just has them keep it on until they get back to Morgantown and practice soon as they get home?
That's the big thing. And, because we've just been pitching, going to win the Big 12 next year.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
I mean, no problem.
Doubt.
No problem at all with Rich Rod coming in. I don't know how many of those guys would survive in Rich Rod's program. Okay, so I've heard a lot of people chatting. I've mentioned this a few times on the show where people are like, Rich Rod's going to have to recruit the guys in the locker room to make sure they stay. The hell he does. I don't know if any of those guys would be able to survive a Rich Rodriguez program. So how much turnover will there be from this particular locker room into what the locker room looks like next year? And what is realistic for this entire thing to get his dogs, his guy into the program? Mm-hmm. I know that the future is going to be bright. Will it be next year? We'll see. Will it be the year after that? I assume yes. Especially with the ability with the transfer portal, he's going to be able to find his guys. Are those guys in that locker room? I'm not sure. I am legitimately not sure. So maybe we get a chance to see a lot of these guys wear the flying WV for the last time tonight.
Okay.
They deserve that.
They got a chance to prove it tonight. Some of them.
Yeah. Yeah, Rich will be, I assume Coach Roy will be watching this game. He'll be watching the sideline.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be a lot of things he's going to be watching for that I think you hear us watch for and talk about on this particular program, just to see who's what. And those who stay will get better and tougher and win more. But who do we really want to stay is the whole next question. And by we, I'm not acting as if I have any say in any of that. I've actually gone hands off, so I don't have to make any of those decisions, which is great news. But I'm excited to see the future of WVU. And obviously, we'll watch tonight with the Hoopters
Scooter's Coffee Frisco Bowl.
Bingo. Scooter's Coffee, that exists?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Loser gets doused in piping hot coffee.
Yeah.
No, that was the Duke's Mayo Bowl, which I'd never heard of Duke's Mayo either going in. And I got a bunch of Southern people attack me. It's like, I'm Hellman's guy.
Yeah.
Okay, please. Because I can, and I love it. And I'm a sandwich guy, so I am a mayonnaise guy. Never heard of Duke's Mayo before West Virginia played the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Did give it a go. Not bad.
Pretty good mayo.
Pretty good mayo. But once again, Duke's Mayo Bowl, Hooper's Coffee Bowl.
Coffee Frisco Bowl.
This isn't what the future of West Virginia looks like. So let's get it in now. Let's get the free coffee. And hopefully McGee will be able to be on a call for a 12-team playoff game that West Virginia's in going forward. 9-year NFL vet, host of Everything DB, Good D, Bad D, Darius Butler. Will you be watching the NBA Cup or the Frisco Bowl?
The NBA Cup for sure. For sure.
Maybe turn on 4 TVs, brother, so you can get the rating up a little bit. Help out the entire league. Why are you watching that, though? Because there is something on the line?
Yeah, I mean, you got two of the best. What did Sham say? 2 MVP candidates this year. I'm sure I'll be finding a good live bet to go on tonight. I expect a lot of points, expect high effort, and 2 superstars playing. So, yeah, I'll be tuned in. That's why you watch NBA. That's the problem, though. You never know when the stars will be playing for the most part, but we know we got 2 of the best in the game tonight.
One of the problems. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup winner. I'll be excited to hear how he feels about the innuendo that Dan Orlovsky dropped on the program in the first hour.
Truly.
Ladies and gentlemen, former president of the state of Ohio, AJ Hawk.
Yeah.
Hawker, did you hear that from Dan? I feel like I'm pretty plugged in college football because of the conversations I get to hear. And Dan was just like, pretty sure I know where Vrabel's going. We all do. And I'm like,
Yeah,
nope.
what was that about?
I did not know what the hell he was talking about
at all.
I think he was saying
he alluded to it was weird, like it's going to be a college gig like Ohio State possibly, but then I just see that he's connected to the Bears gig as well, Vrabel.
Oh, is he really?
That's a rumor out there that he's lead dog in the fight for it, I guess.
Okay. So that wouldn't be a bad. First of all, we love Vrabel.
Yes.
So that just know that we are not coming from a non-biased position. We are fans of the Vrabes. We like the way he operates. We love the way he's able to handle entire tin of Zins while also putting an entire tin of whatever wintergreen he is at the same time. We appreciate that. We like that while he's doing that, he can also smoke a full pack of cigarettes at one time. He can drink a case of beer, and then he can go out and run 10 110s and beat you. He is cut from a different cloth. The cut of his jib is one that we fancy. We think he is a football genius. We don't think he had as much success in Tennessee as he had hoped for. So obviously, man with a lot of motivation. So we think he would do well no matter where he goes, personally. But Dan Orlovsky was saying he's going back to college because he said coaching football.
Yep.
Because if you're talking Vrabes, NFL coach, you would just assume what NFL team's he going to. He goes, no, football. Who's Dan talking to? Age? Who? I have not heard any of this.
Is he talking to Vrabes? I mean, I don't know if he and Vrabes communicate very, very consistently, do they?
They seem like simpatico.
Yeah, they're boys, right?
2 peas in a pod.
Yeah. And
2 peas in a pod.
Every time Orlovsky says yesterday, Vrabes smacks him in the mouth.
God, I love it, Dan.
Vrabes says, don't say that. And then he goes, I'm not trying to ruin anybody's day. And Vrabes is like, shut up. Enough. I can't take it anymore. But Vrabes getting back into coaching, being a head coach somewhere we would be a big fan of. Let's talk about the potential of, his alma mater and yours. Huge one this weekend, brother. At home. We'll be on the call, on the sideline. So honored and thankful that we get to do that. Can't really see shit. So if you're following along on X and you want to drop us some information that you're seeing from the camera views, we would certainly be very appreciative. You can join us on ESPN2. There will be the regular game cast with Herbie and Fowler and everybody on ABC and on ESPN. We'll be on ESPN2 for this Big Ten SEC heavyweight bout in the first round of the 12-team playoff to determine a college football national champion. Now, I have said this a couple different times now on a couple different shows, including NFL Game Day Morning on NFL Network. This Tennessee team, although we're showing a pass there, this Tennessee team is built to go play in the cold. Now, can they handle the actual cold? It does get cold in Tennessee, I get it, but it's going to feel like it's in the single digits, I assume, over there. It's going to be windy. Who knows what else is going to be taking place? You don't really know how that's going to work until you get in it, but they pound the rock. Their defense hits. Very hard. They're very fast. Obviously, they're an SEC team. How do you feel about the game this weekend? How do you feel about the matchup for your Ohio State Buckeyes, who I think need a win for the good of the state of Ohio?
Yeah, I'd say they definitely need a win. They're thirsting for a win, no question. But this is a tough matchup for anybody. I mean, Tennessee coming in, they're built like a cold weather team, like a team that can go anywhere and win. They do a great job stopping the run. Their interior D line is great. They can pound the ball. They want to pound the ball on offense. So yeah, that's honestly, I'm looking forward to it. Like, let's see what you can do. Let's see if you can come in here and handle the weather. Let's see if Ohio State can handle it as well and bounce back from obviously a brutal loss to Michigan last time they were in that stadium.
So what Dan said there about a potential new coach, and I know this is something that happens every year at Ohio State, especially if you lose to Michigan. Can you explain Ryan Day's life since the Michigan game? Is it as bad as it's been in years past or no? Legitimately, I'm asking.
I mean, I would imagine from his point of view, it's as bad or worse than it's been. Yeah, each time that you lose to him, I'm sure it gets exponentially worse, especially this year when it looked like everything was lining up for Ohio State to win.
And, you sign up for it. You get paid a lot of money, but that's a tough state,
Yeah.
That is a football state, tough state.
Changes a lot. Yeah, changes a lot. Like Coach Tressel came in year one that he came to Ohio State, 2001. They went on the road and beat Michigan in a game that they probably were not supposed to win, and that kind of springboarded him. And then he wins the national championship next year.
And then Urban, undefeated, right?
Yeah.
Against Michigan.
7-0.
Damn.
Yeah.
He actually has like a bar, I think, called 7-0. Like, that is what it is. So then you lose 4 straight, especially with the team that you're supposed to go in a natty as one of those losses. I couldn't even fathom. Ryan Day, we love you, buddy.
Yep. Still got a chance to win it.
Still got a chance to win a natty in this entire thing, which will certainly supersede all of that, you would think, if you were able to do that.
Yeah, it also doesn't help when those two guys that, AJ just brought up both come out and say, like, this is the best team that's ever stepped foot in Ohio Stadium. Like, without a doubt, there's never been a team with this much talent, and for that to happen, I mean, I feel terrible for him and his whole entire family.
He's getting paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
He's a head coach of a Big Ten team. Obviously, that is a dream spot for a coach. You work your ass off to get there. But, boy, you lose 5 games in your entire – how many?
Yeah.
And it's like you are – for some people in Ohio State, it's like, nope. Get them out of here. It's like, what is on the other side of this entire thing? And what Dano was alluding to was an Ohio guy is what's on the other side.
Yeah, who is he talking to? Yeah, who is Dano getting? He acted like he was pretty
God.
Because I've never heard, maybe he is talking to Jesus Christ. I mean, maybe that is happening. Birthday coming up. Yeah. Some people believe. Then there's some people that believe it isn't the birthday.
Sure.
Even though it's fucking Christmas. I thought that's what we were celebrating the entire time. But I hadn't heard that. And I feel like I'm pretty... You seemingly haven't heard that either. You're like good friends with the guy. But Dano's got it on lock. That's Dano football. Thank you, Dano. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who will go down in the annals of football as a GOAT. One of the greatest of all time, fresh off a win where he won for 289. One of his wide receivers caught his 100th touchdown. Ladies and gentlemen, still spinning it, still bringing the boom. Ladies and gentlemen, Super Bowl champion, 4-time NFL MVP, Aaron Rodgers.
Switched up the view today.
I like that. We got a backwards hat, too. Super cool. Open to everything, attached to nothing. Is that what that shirt says?
Yes, that's what it says.
Where's the attach?
I'm in my living room right now because I got to look at the skyline here just to make sure there's no drones coming out.
Okay. Have we seen any? What's going on over there? How's that?
I haven't, but I talked to some teammates who I'll keep nameless at this point, and they've seen them.
What are they doing? Just hanging out, hanging around? Seems like they're moving pretty good. They're also they want to be seen.
Out, dropping some McDonald's off, just different things, different tasks.
Well, I did hear somebody from the government standpoint did say, these are all manned drones, couple of them helicopters, couple planes. It's like, I don't know. I've seen some photos.
I think some of them definitely are. In
the sky?
Real planes or helicopters. Some of them definitely aren't.
It does feel like we know.
According to my sources, that's, my teammates. Let's see.
We saw one, too.
Who?
I'm sure we saw one on Twitter, on X.
Yeah, the congressman tweeted it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's assume that there's not just going to be one on a sidewalk, which I heard over there in New Jersey. New York Police Department found one on a sidewalk. Let's assume they're not just going to be in the back of a trailer, just with no cover on them, being pulled by a Ram truck, right down a highway on display. Let's assume
that they don't have a BlackRock sticker on them. Wow. Assume that as well.
Okay, we will. We will assume that, I guess, even though there's a lot of people saying shouldn't assume any of those types of things. But they do want to be seen, it feels like. So
they got lights.
And they seem to be organized pretty good, right? Don't they seemingly organize pretty good?
Who's flying them?
Well,
Let's assume that they're not looking for any radioactive material.
Well,
there's been people on the record who have seemingly importance in this world saying radiation levels are really high. A lot of these places. And one's gone missing. Somebody just came out and said, it's like, what? What?
Why don't they just tell us what's going on? Everybody lives in Jersey. It's kind of like...
I think the thing about all of that has always been like mass exodus being
hysteria,
like a big time, like Independence Day, how all those cars are heading out one way, and then you got Will Smith driving back the other way, or whatever the case is.
No, it was Goldblum and his dad, actually. Remember, they're going back into D.C. to try and save the president.
David. Yep. I appreciate Mr. Goldblum.
And I think, and Keanu was in the White House, I think.
I don't think Keanu was in that.
That's two different movies.
No, I think he was there, wasn't he?
I don't think so. But if he was, he would have been walking.
Oh, yeah.
The other way.
Nick Cage was the vice president. Nick Cage was in there trying to tell the president, we got to get out. Got to get out.
I don't think.
And nobody got out until Goldblum came in and said, hey, look at us. We're typing over here on the other side of the gate.
Keanu was that drunk farmer who was driving there, was flying that plane, who ended up, taking them all down when shoved up her ass. Yeah.
I thought that was Nick Nolte.
Oh, it could have been, actually.
It could have been, yeah.
Gary Busey, too, didn't he do?
Yeah, yep, he was in it.
He was there something.
He was one of the aliens.
Yeah. He potentially.
Yeah.
He voiced over.
He was, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that, the animation.
Killed the
But I think that's what they're worried about, is that everybody trying to get the hell out of there. But with that being said, we have to know something. With the invention of the internet, you can't just do what you did in the past. We all know. Now everybody's kind of thinking the worst anyways. Yeah. And that's not good. Speaking of thinking the worst, let's think about the best. Big time win this past week. Hey, come on, baby.
Yeah, huge win.
Come on, big win. You go
Huge
for
win,
300 2 weeks ago, 289 this week through the air. Devontae scores his 100th touchdown. He goes off, goes bananas. What has it been about this offense the last few weeks where it's seemingly performing the best that it has?
Well, we got G going early, and then we got Tay going kind of the rest of the game. That was good. They played a bunch of different coverages when they went one high, like they did on this snap. Tay smoked them here. We got a big one.
Oh, there's the aliens right there.
Hey, there it is. Yeah, see? We're downstairs now. They're coming for us.
Oh, no. No internet on your plane either, right?
Nope.
Oh, no. Controlling the skies, cutting it off. But, yeah, you got Tay going early. Obviously goes for a big one.
Got Garrett going early. They dropped him wide open on a cover 2 scheme. And then, Tay got going late as well. We got him his 100th right here on the little fade ball, late hands. And then, he had 2 big ones late. Obviously, the down the middle against Tampa 2 here. You're going to show great protection by Johnny here in the pole, and Olu creating the space in the pocket. Obviously, great catch by Tay. Everybody's in the right space, and him just getting loose. And then,
great throw.
And then, then defense held him to a field goal. We got the ball back, 3rd and 10. He makes this ridiculous catch over the shoulder. No idea how he caught this one. But that's what he does. It was so good that we didn't have to even run a play, to try and beat a challenge or booth review. And here I just kind of moved up in the pocket. Line did a great job protecting all game. And then Tay was wide open. He's kind of thinking, do I go down here? Do I go out of bounds? Do I score my 3rd touchdown? What do I do here? Kind of wish he just would have scored his 3rd touchdown there because we ended up running the next play anyway. But yeah, obviously Tay had a huge second half after 0 catches in the first half. The line played outstanding. And nice to come out of there with a win. Score 30, come out of there with a win.
How's the locker room after that? Because I was on a team that was completely defeated until we won 2 games late. Dan Orlovsky, great ESPN pundit, great NFL career, says all the right things all the time, even has inside information on college ball, it seems like, with the way he was talking in the first hour. But when we won, it felt so good. It was like, hey, everything that we thought we could do in team winning ball, because it's hard to win in the NFL. How was the locker room afterwards? You guys, there has to be some happiness at least after a win, right? Or no?
Yeah, there was a ton, of course. It's hard to win this league, and we're going to celebrate it even when we're 3-10. That's it's not going to stop us from enjoying a win. So, yeah, it was a good moment. A lot of cool things happened. Everybody wants to second guess. Tay, going out of bounds last week and us losing, then us scoring on the goal line. It's whatever it is. Either way, we had to stop them, and it was fun to see Sauce come up with his first pick of the season to close that thing out. That was a good moment. Always fun taking a knee in the game, but just proud of our guys for battling, for playing with a lot of heart. It's easy to quit when you're out of the playoffs and had the season that we've had, but nobody did. So credit to Jeff, and his staff, getting guys to continue to buy in, and then offensively, we've kind of figured some things out the last couple of weeks and been a lot more efficient.
Go ahead, AJ.
Aaron, why do you think it's so tough for teams to find like their foundational coach? Like we see a guy like Tomlin, he's been in Pittsburgh forever. They consistently have coaches that are there forever. Why is it so tough to be a successful NFL head coach?
Well, there's only one Mike Tomlin. I would say that first and foremost. So you got to give Mike credit. He's got a special sauce to think about the way that he coaches. I'm just saying this from afar. I've been around him, but I've talked to a lot of guys that played for him, and he seems to understand how to motivate his guys the best every single year. For him to not have a losing season is absolutely ridiculous. Now, obviously, they've had good players. They've had Hall of Fame players on both sides of the ball, but the coach has to set the framework for the culture and the locker room, and then kind of allow his players to do that. And I think there's a lot to that, to having the boundaries in place and the rules in place, but then allowing the players to police themselves, I think is really, really important. So I've always respected Mike from afar, and I think he's done a hell of a job over his career. Enjoyed the few times we've gotten to match up. But there's only one of him. I think, to finish the answer to your question, Age, there's no patience. It takes time to fix a culture. It takes time to change a mindset. Sometimes, certain guys can come in and kind of put their stamp on it in a year or two, but some places need more than that. Obviously, it doesn't seem like LA Chargers. I was San Diego.
Old.
They kind of just needed, a slight little adjustment, obviously, and Coach Harbaugh and the way he coaches has got those guys playing well. Justin's having a great year. So sometimes it doesn't take a lot of time, but sometimes it takes a couple of years to kind of reset everything and get things moving back in the right direction. You got to have patience with that. Fan base got to have patience. Ownership got to have patience. Front office got to have patience.
You talked about Sheila Ford Hamp up there in Detroit. I mean, that's a perfect example of finding their guy and everybody being aligned and supportive publicly, even in the hard times. That's why the Lions are seemingly benefiting from all of that now. But MCDC turned out to be a guy.
Yeah.
And Holmes turned out to be a guy. If you have that patience and they're not, that's when the predicament begins. Let's talk about reset in the future. D-Butch has a question for you, Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron, you talking about building that culture. The 33rd team obviously got hired by the Jets, and they've put some names out. At least I've seen some names on the internet. D. Dimitrov, former GM of the Falcons, Louis Riddick, ESPN personality now, obviously played and been in the scouting department. How close attention are you paying to what the Jets are doing as far as that search for the next head coach GM?
I don't have to pay much attention to it because it's going to get blasted out there for whatever reason. The sentiment is to release the names. I think John Robinson, Lewis, and Dimitrov have all been interviewed, I believe. That's all I've seen. Interesting way to go about it. But I think it seems like they want to hire a GM before they hire a coach. So maybe GM by the end of the season, and the GM help aid in the next coaching search. And I'm hopeful that Brick gets a chance to interview with whoever that is. But listen, as loosely paying attention to it. I am not a part of any of those conversations, nor do I expect to be, and that's just fine with me.
Okay, so you're playing right now, and you said you're open to everything, attached to nothing for your future of football. Whenever you drop that cover 2 dime to Devontae, and you said it was a great catch, it was. But whenever you have to read the defense, and then you have to make a great throw in a tough time, and then Devontae catches it and takes it to there's a moment in there, I assume, where it's like, that's what we're here for. And are you constantly monitoring those feelings and emotions as you try to figure out what the future is? Are you doing a journal about things you feel and things you think throughout the end of the year here as you go into an off season where you're going to have to make decisions? How are you kind of balancing all that? Because that's a fucking dime right there.
Yeah.
That is an Aaron Rodgers throw right there that not a lot of humans in the history of Earth have been able to put on. To obviously Devontae's a great wide receiver, but you get it. Is that all part of it all here? Look at you jumping for joy.
Had a long run.
Look at this go. Hey, yeah, first down.
Look good up
scooting around a little bit. Are you journaling all this stuff? How are you kind of managing the emotions of playing football here?
Yeah, I mean, I journal all the time, so that's kind of normal. But I have been definitely kind of acutely tapped into my feelings about everything this year. And it's been interesting that there's a lot of things that have never happened in 20 years that I've been a part of this year, both good and bad. Both things that are eye-opening and really enjoyable. But the feeling that never gets old. Being able to throw to one of your best friends in the world, best friend in the league, down the middle, 71 yards on the money, and him make a beautiful catch after a great protection to take the lead in the fourth quarter, less than 4 minutes. Like, that shit never gets old. That never will get old. And I told him after the game, as disappointing as this season has been,
yippee.
If you have to go through all this shit to be able to have moments like today, then I'd swear to you, and we both agreed on this, it was all worth it. To be able to share moments like that with people you really truly care about and love is just that's what it's all about. So I'm enjoying it, enjoying those moments. I'm healthy, it's this is what I trained so hard for in the off season, and unfortunately I went through a difficult stretch in the middle. That being said, if I'm out there, I expect to play well, and so there's no excuses. If I'm on the field, that means I feel like I'm good enough to play. But I was battling, and I haven't been battling the last few weeks, so I've been feeling a little bit better and moving around. I ran for freaking 45 yards. I can't remember last time. Maybe somebody in the back can tell me last time I ran for 45 yards in a game, but it feels like it's been a long time. No, I definitely have before. Back in the day, I had some 50-yard games. I had maybe a 60-yard gain, I think. Game. Yeah. But I can't remember last time I ran for 18 yards either. Definitely, that's been a while too. So, I feel good. Line obviously played fantastic and gave me all the day to throw. And I was able to kind of do some things outside the pocket that I'm used to doing and felt really good. But, unfortunately, that's just our fourth win. So we're not sitting here talking about the excitement of what's to come here in 3 weeks in the proceeding after that. But it is what it is. I'm really thankful for all the highs and the lows and the in-betweens this year.
All those yippies that you did out there, you're not going to be able to find that other places. Nope. And you know that. And that's going to go in to the entire – that was a good yippee.
Oh, yeah. Almost a hip, hip hooray.
No, it was almost a hip, hip
close,
hooray. It was close, but it was just a yippee. Woohoo! Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was a woohoo. It was a yippee into a woohoo. Yeah. If I had to – there's the woohoo. Yippee!
By the way,
think about that joy that you're feeling in your body. I just want you to, as somebody who is, retired old man, I think AJ would say the same thing. Work your ass off for those moments to happen. And on the field, you're not able to find that in a lot of places. That moment right there where you're literally losing, it's not hard. That's not easy to find in other places. So I do appreciate the fact that you're taking it all in while you're in the moment here before you have to make a decision before it all,
I am. And my longtime dear friend Joey texts me every now and then before the games, and he calls that celebration the Mario celebration. I actually saw a meme about it. I just had done it randomly back in 2009 and then did it for a long time. And he said, let's see some Marios today. And that just actually came out of nowhere. I wasn't like, I'm going to throw a touchdown and do the Mario. It just actually randomly happened. I was so excited. But man, where else are you going to get that excitement? And looking over at the sideline, that's what gets me so juiced too, just to see Todd going nuts and Britt going nuts and all the guys I love and care about, so juiced up as we take the lead in the fourth. That's a special feeling.
Hell yeah. That's football, baby. That's why it's the greatest, and sports are the greatest. Happy you're doing the Mario celebration. Let's not do any Luigi's.
No.
Tone has a question for you, Aaron.
Yeah, I do, Aaron. By the way, it was 2019, week 4. You had 5 carries for 46 yards against Philadelphia Eagles.
Wow.
Skirting. Yippee! You were doing it. You were balling 2009.
Long time ago. I was 35 years old. That was a long time ago.
That's before also.
Yeah. The MVPs.
Yeah. Well, speaking of MVPs, you've got 4 of them. I don't know if you knew that or not. There's a couple of great candidates this year for the MVP. In those years that you won them, what do you think sets you apart? What should the voters be looking at in the candidates this year that would set them apart, that would have the honor of being an MVP of the NFL?
I mean, I think the right, wrong, or indifferent, there's always kind of one game that stands out in voters' minds where they're like, oh, this is this. And a lot of times it's one specific play in general that you're like, okay, this is why this guy's getting MVP. A lot of people the other week thought that it was maybe the Josh Allen in the snow lateral from, was that Cooper who lateraled to him?
Yep.
And did the Superman score a touchdown? I've been saying it for a while. Like, number one, I love Josh. I think he's a fantastic dude, and love anytime I get to spend time with him. He's hilarious. He's having a big year. Just got engaged. He's having a phenomenal season. They're obviously in the playoffs, going to host a playoff game, compete for the 1 seed on top of the world, and I think this could be another chance for him to add a little hardware to the mantle. That being said, as someone who's won MVP back-to-back years knows how hard that is, can we just not gloss over what Lamar's doing?
Amen.
I mean, can we not? Like, he has, I think, 34 touchdown passes, I believe.
Yep.
And just, 3 INTs, I believe.
Yeah.
And he's flirting with the all-time single-season passer rating record. This is from a guy who was just a runner, right? He could just run. That's all he can do, right? Just run. I love watching Lamar play, and love to see his continual growth and how he changes the game. I mean, obviously he's so dynamic, but he's really become such an elite passer of the football.
Almost to his detriment, Aaron, is what his mom's saying. His mom said, like, you're too good of a passer now. You're trying to let
this play is so ridiculous right here.
So stupid.
He's running so fast, but it's almost like he's in slow motion, and he's just everybody's trying to catch him. It's just ridiculous.
And he's pulling up his pants in the middle of it. I mean, it's he's special, but it does feel like Josh.
But let's not just gloss over this. He's having a ridiculous year. A lot of times, it comes down to record, right, wrong, or indifferent. I think that although the MVP has become kind of a quarterback award,
not kind of.
Can we just acknowledge what Saquon has done? I mean, just an incredible year. I think it should come down to those three. I'd love to see Josh win it just because of the friendship that we have, and I think he deserves it. But would not be surprised to see Saquon or Lamar get his third because those guys have had fantastic years. I just think it's harder for a running back because it's a quarterback-driven league, and if he goes nuts the last 3 weeks and has like a signature game where he rushes for something astronomical like 250 or something,
so many woohoos,
which would be wild. He could get it, but I think unless there's a crazy game like that from one of those three, and I say that knowing that Lamar just had like 4 incompletions and 5 touchdowns,
crazy.
So, but then Josh has had like some crazy stat about
10 tuds,
60 yards rushing, 3 something passing, and multiple passing and some crazy number I saw. So unless there's some wild performance from one of those guys where it's just so crazy, it goes viral. I think Josh should maybe be the favorite, and then Lamar and Quads are kind of second right now.
Quads is going bananas over there for Philadelphia. What a perfect fit that has seemingly been for them, and what a year it's been fun to watch. Every week he does something absurd. Lamar Jackson, obviously special.
Oh, like the Quads. Let's talk about Quads. Didn't they put the backwards leap over a guy play? Like he has that play. Josh has the lateral play. Lamar has to play like that almost every game. So, they all have the signature moments they need to win MVP. So any of those 3 guys would be really deserving this year for sure.
Josh Allen, the last 2 weeks, 10 touchdowns, like 869 yards or something, and no interceptions, no turnovers somehow. So he's had a 2-week stretch here when Lamar was on bye one of the weeks. And Josh,
what about that really quiet game that Jared Goff had as well?
Yeah.
Quiet 490 and 5.
Dude, that Detroit Lions offense is going to have to go, because the amount of injuries they have on the defense, and Jared Goff has since he's got up there. Now, let's talk about the Detroit Lions and quarterback stuff. Conman has a question for you.
Yeah, Aaron,
Hi,
nice
Connor.
to see you. Good to see you always. Stafford coming to town, 1:00 game, Rams in New Jersey, 10:00 local for them. Got to be awesome, feeling good about that. But does it feel like a full circle moment having Stafford, with the Rams coming to play you with the Jets after all those battles you had in the NFC North?
Yeah, it's fun. Matt's one of my all-time favorite favorite competitors to go against. Just a lot of fun battles over the years. A lot of respect for him. Plays the game, in a way I totally respect. He's as tough as they come. He's savvy. He's smart. He's gritty. He's competitive.
Right.
I've always been a big Matt Stafford fan, so excited to see him. We played him a couple years ago, and I think it was in 22, and he was banged up. He had like a neck thing or something, I think.
Every year.
And we were thinking, shoot, this might be it. So it's good to have one more chance to compete against him if this is it. It's been a great time competing over the years. So many great battles over there. But we get them at a 10 o'clock on their body clock time. But I know Sean will have those boys ready, and they got a lot to play for, and hopefully we can play a little spoiler role.
Rams are hot. That NFC West obviously is heating up. Rams-Seahawks, last game of the season. Everybody thinks is going to decide it, but what if the New York Jets say, hey, good morning, bitch, and beat the Rams? Anything is possible, obviously, with the way your offense is playing at this exact moment. Speaking of offenses playing well, let's go back home. Green Bay, Wisconsin. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Aaron, early in the season, I think, just watching Jordan Love play, like a lot of people were saying, like, hey, this guy's almost like he's got a little bit of Favre in him, and he's got a little bit of Aaron in him, like with the tight window throws and some of that kind of stuff. And Pat mentioned yesterday, like some of the stats from Toyotathon, closing the season last year, he had 17 touchdowns, 1 pick. He hasn't had an interception now for 4 games, and he's kind of starting to turn it around a little bit. Is that something you ever talked about with him, limiting turnovers? Because it seems like for whatever reason, and he was hurt early in the year, but a lot more interceptions. And then now, as the games have gotten more important, it's almost like he's kind of honing it in a little bit and protecting the ball much more like you did, for 20 years.
Well, I mean, for the first 2 years he was with us, he got to watch that every week. Didn't turn the ball over a whole lot in 20 or 21. But I watched Favre, and Favre turned the ball over a decent amount, especially in 05.
Oh yeah.
And 06, and
allegedly.
I think I realized how important my longevity was going to be tied to taking care of the football. So it was always a big point of emphasis for me. I went through a stretch. I think there was a couple years in my career where I had too many fumbles, kind of loose with the football. So I'd clean that up. And obviously, most of my career, I've been good about limiting my interceptions. I think just watching him, because we had some common opponents, he went through some stretches where he wasn't feeling great body-wise. He had the ridiculous injury in the first week, I believe it was, right, against Philly.
Yep.
And then he had some other groin. Was it a groin?
Yeah,
or a
groin
hamstring
against
or something?
Jacksonville. Yep.
Yeah. So him, like me when I was younger, we are able to do things moving not just in the pocket but out of the pocket, extended plays, and he's so good at that. And taking out that ability and then messing with your legs a little bit, you can see some of those balls just not end up exactly where he wants it, and I know what that feels like. But overall, I think he's had another really, really, really solid season. I love watching him play. He's accurate with the football. He's making good decisions. What I couldn't believe the other night, and I caught a little bit of the game because we were coming back on the road trip, was how many freaking Packer fans were there.
Yeah.
Like, that never happened back in the day. I mean, it was the loudest freaking...
Seattle's gettable right now. They're saying Bills Mafia went in there, took it over. Packers go in there, take it over. I think Arizona even had fans.
I heard a Go Pack Go chant in this catch right here by Rome was ridiculous, by the way. But I heard a Go Pack Go chant in like the second quarter. It was like 7-0 Packers. And I heard Go Pack Go chant. I said, what in the hell is going on? That's the wildest thing ever. And it was the Packers were on offense.
Packers fans travel there, right? That's kind of one of the MOs. Not that Seattle has ever been a gettable stadium. We're not saying that.
Big game, Seattle too.
Yeah.
No, they always travel well, but not Seattle was never. I mean, it sounded like it was like 60-40 Seattle fans, maybe, or 70-30. But even that would be wild for that stadium. Never in all the years we played there did we ever have any presence that was remotely close to that. So shout out to the Seattle fans for selling their tickets to the Packer fans. And then obviously Packer fans don't need a reason to show up, and they're everywhere. But yeah, that was a good win for the G&G, and they're in a tough division, man. That division is crazy with to Detroit and Minnesota, but it's setting up. It's setting up there. Okay, so the Pack's got Vikings. That'll be a good one, and the Vikings both have the Pack and the Lions. So
gettable, all of them, and there could be home field advantage implications in all these games. Aaron, the NFC North is stacked this year.
So Packers run the table there. Then they'll probably, depends on what happens at the Lions. If the Lions are playing for the 1 seed, which they probably will be late in the season, Packers could really essentially only move up one spot, right? Because they won't be in the top 4 if they don't win the division. So you're looking at 5 seed is playing. Who's the 4 right now? Is it NFC West or NFC South?
4 would be NFC West, I believe. Seahawks.
Currently. So now you're looking at Seahawks, which they went there, and Rams, which don't have a great home field advantage. And then you're looking at, okay, there we go, the Bucs at 3, who would have a bigger home field advantage for sure. Listen, I don't know, and I haven't obviously watched every game. I've seen common opponent games, but I would think that there's a good chance that 5 and 6 could be favored, or at least really tight spreads, for the first week of the playoffs.
And you say common opponents, that's because you're watching the film. That is why, when he says, I've seen a little bit of Jordan Love because we've had common opponents, you're watching a film on him. And whenever you get on a plane, obviously, you're able to see that. Seattle has a chance to win the NFC West in the first year with McDonald. But I think their fan base felt betrayed a little bit, whenever they kicked Pete Carroll out. So I think they're going to have to win them back over. That is why that stadium is gettable. And we all learned it literally when Bills Mafia went in there and took it. It was a big storyline for us. It was like, holy hell. Yeah. Seattle's no longer the place that we thought it was. And then the Packers obviously go in and take it over as well. That NFC North, come on, boys.
Yeah.
As an owner, you got to feel very good.
Feel great. Feel absolutely great.
You get another piece of paper because aren't they putting the things shares up for sale again?
We'll see. When
are they doing that again? Are they doing that again, Ty?
I think there are plans.
That's great marketing.
Not great marketing, is it?
What are they building? What are they building now?
You said racket. You said marketing. Yeah, they did it like the first time they did it, and then there was another one like 5 years later or something, or 10 years later, I forget. Then there was like a 50-year stretch where they didn't do it. Then there was one the next 10 years. Now it's going to be 5 years. Then it's going to be 2 years. If you could just get millions and millions of dollars from your fans every single offseason, I don't know why you wouldn't do it, to be clear.
Great graduation gift, great birthday gift, great wedding gift, Christmas, you name it.
Hanukkah.
Thank
you.
Kwanzaa.
Yep. Thank you. Yeah, we got to make sure everybody's
Festivus.
Toyotathon. Ram Truckathon.
Of course.
Obviously, everybody's talking about it.
Earth Day.
Yeah.
Arbor Day.
Flag Day.
Day.
Boxing Day.
President's Day.
Yeah, St. Patrick's Day, certainly.
Of course.
Yes, presidents.
So why don't they put it up for sale at all times? Just go to a website here, buy, boom, ownership in the Packers, like you can buy.
Different frames. You get a Halloween frame.
Yeah. Oh, spooky ownership.
St. Patrick's Day frame.
I didn't even think about a spooky owner. Man.
It's a great idea.
It's a really good idea. They got enough over there. How much money are they making every single year? I forget what it was.
Well, it was a lot. It was like over $300 million just for.
No, I think it was $250 million real estate.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Just in that bucket. Mm-hmm. That is just that's not even in the ownership racket.
No, yeah.
Ownership what?
It's not a racket.
It's not a racket.
Sorry.
It means a lot.
Wow.
Ownership, good idea, business move.
Yeah,
and it does mean a lot.
It means a lot.
Can you sell those in the stock market?
Let's just say my portfolio is doing just fine because the Packers stock's rising.
Okay.
Let's just leave it at that.
Oh, well. You should ring the opening bell.
It means a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does mean a lot.
That piece of paper, it says ownership of Green Bay Packers. You hang that thing right up behind your seat over here. We see it every day. I don't even know at home how many you got. And you stare at it and you think to yourself, we did it.
Exactly. All day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever go to any of the meetings, the ownership meetings?
Haven't been able to make it up. It's tough with work. Obviously I got to.
I'll let you off, won't we?
Hey,
it's in July. It's in July.
What a hard worker. What a hard worker, Ty.
Can't even go to his ownership meeting of an NFL team. That's unbelievable.
Well,
we appreciate
I think he's worried about getting stuck in those stands and not being able to get to the bathroom in time.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, you get eating the cheese up there. That's it's dangerous.
What is the fried cheese across the street at that place that looks like a home, but it's a diner? What's that called?
Cheese curds?
Kroll's. There it is. And they have the cheese curds, right? It looks like you're walking into somebody's house. I think there's even carpeting on like this.
Kroll's is Spencer Havner's favorite spot in town, I think, back
Spanx?
in the day.
You talking about Spanx?
Big Spanx. Go Spanx.
Shout out Big Spanx. AJ has a question for you, Aaron.
That's where
Aaron,
we
I wanna
put on a
pivot.
couple LBs around the midsection.
Well, how could you not? Gets a little chilly. You walk in at Kroll's, see some cheese curds, got to eat them all. And I think they were serving beer like 10 a.m. when I was there as well.
Love that.
There were some
Yeah.
people that were very regular, I think.
But John Kuhn refused to go there. Refused. All right, H, go ahead.
Why?
I
I don't know. You got to ask John. Yeah.
That might be a
I
staple.
think he had
of
a
John
bone.
Kuhn's
He had a
day.
bone to pick with him. I think one time he went in there and they asked him if he was Josh Sitton or somebody.
Oh, no.
Yikes.
Kuhn said, never again. Never again. I'm not
going back in
TJ
there.
Lang. Get out of here. That's potentially possible. Wow. Kuhn, maybe he got 7 cheese curds instead of the normal 8.
Could have.
And he felt like he was gypped. Call me the wrong name. Angel only give me 7 cheese curds.
You don't do that to somebody from a ship, you know.
That's right. Pennsylvania boy. Shippensburg.
You don't
What a
do that.
stud. Huge head.
Massive.
They should have known when he walked in. There's only a
Hey,
couple
great,
heads.
great back too. Really nice, strong, solid back. Not like Brian Balaga strong, but close.
Is he doing pull-ups, you think?
Yeah, but he was classic where he'd do the green band, you know, on the night games,
him up.
you know, on TV.
Wake him up.
Get those. Yeah, wake him up. Yeah.
That's what you got to do. It was nice to see the professional wrestlers again, you know, for Saturday Night Main Event. You're just walking down a hallway and all of a sudden just some chiseled, oiled up guy because you don't want to get no grip.
Sure.
You know what I mean? You're just like oiled up guy walking by and it's like, damn, good for you. You've gotten bigger and stronger somehow. Have to, you know, and they just keep on peacocking right around. They've all woke. They're awake all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that thing's jacked up just like Kuhn. Why didn't Kuhn ever wrestle? I think he would have been.
Still could.
Head's a lethal weapon.
Married to the game.
I think, yeah, there's a lot of these premier fights going on. You know, I think, you know, maybe a exhibition MMA, him and Spanx.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know Spanx. I don't know if Spanx should sign up for it, but I'm in. If they would like to fight, right? We'll put an octagon right here.
Yep.
Put it right out here. Both will have to sign a contract saying they won't sue us if one of them dies in there from either a heart attack or a strike or a chokeout. But we will certainly have a Spanx Kuhn octagon MMA fight right here. You know, maybe we even
That could be like the Kimbo Slice fight where him and the other guy were so out of breath, like a minute into the fight.
Bingo.
R.I.P. But these guys, we might need to give them a little chance to train for this. But yeah, I'd like to see that.
rear view mirror, jumbo dice, trunk hit hard, like Kimbo Slice. What a dog. Dial up internet.
Yeah.
Wee, woo, wee, woo, wah. Finally get in there. Kimbo's walking into some random dude's backyard and beating the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
That was a good
better.
time.
It was.
Rest in peace, Kimbo. Thank you. Thank you for your contributions. Go ahead, AJ.
Aaron, there's a moment in the game you were running, you're scrambling off towards the sideline. It looked like you kind of were baiting the defender to hit you a little bit as you stepped out of bounds. Then you flopped on the sideline a little bit. And your teammates and your coaches actually stood up to try to fight for you, and you calmed them down and said, no. He's okay, buddy. It wasn't a late hit. Do you remember that play and what was being said back and forth?
Stand down, boys.
Yeah, that was my most embarrassing moment from the game for sure. I kind of thought he might hit me late on the sidelines. So I just eased up just a little bit to see if he might.
Oh, you were baiting them. You were baiting them into it.
Wow.
This is the problem with you quarterbacks.
And said, don't call that. Don't call that. Don't call that. I don't want that call. That's embarrassing. Please don't call that. Please don't call that. So, yeah, quarterbacks, we get protected enough anyway. It's hard to play defense. And, yeah, I'm embarrassed by that moment.
Okay, well, maybe they'll
Won't happen again.
Maybe they'll
Won't
cover.
happen again.
Maybe they'll cover it in the next documentary. Have you seen? It debuts today on Netflix. Enigma, a 3-part docuseries about Aaron. Have you watched it in its entirety already? And has anybody that's around you watched it? And what are their thoughts?
I've heard from a couple people that they watched it a little bit, but yeah, there's me right there with my shirt off.
It's about you. Yeah, this whole thing. You're going to be a lot of you on here. Just a heads up. The next minute 29, I think, is going to be you. I think.
Minute 29. I got to talk about for a minute 20. Yeah, there's me doing that. Okay, walking. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Into conspiracies. Yep. Here we go. Anti-vax. Yep. We know that. Okay.
Well, polio and stuff.
Making a meme on the internet. There we go.
Good
meme.
Yeah. Good meme.
Yep.
Good tank top.
No, I'm you know, like I said, thankful for ROS and had a good time spending time with those awesome people. Interesting to, you know, to relive all that. And I've watched some of it to remember the feelings of, you know, the frustration going through rehab. And what I've said before, you know, it's been a crazy year and really, really special year at the same time. So many great people, a lot of people highlighted in this, in these episodes that I got to meet and get close to or spend more time with, including my amazing surgeon, Neil Elatrash, who, did such a great job and stayed with me throughout rehab, and Heather Milligan over at Elite, and
AAA. I saw AAA in the first scene.
AAA's in there, yeah.
Still jocked.
Ryan, yeah, so many awesome people that showed up for me during this time, and it's been an amazing year. So there's a lot of good stuff in there, a lot of great people. I believe the second episode talks a little bit about the trip down to Costa Rica, and I have a ton of respect and there's a sacred nature to doing plant medicine. Obviously, I've talked about it from time to time. People don't understand it. I've tried to take shots at me from time to time, but that's fine. Most people have never done it or don't have the stones to do it. I would encourage them if they ever get the urge and the calling to do it. But it's something that really means a lot to me. It's made a difference in my life. It's something that I don't recommend to everybody. But there's some cool moments with that, and a great group that we got to meet and be down there with. And yeah, there's some fun video over the years. NFL Films is so incredible. All the archive they have on footage from early in my career is pretty cool. And they talked to a few really important people to me. So yeah, it was a special thing. Glad it's over, just because I like my privacy more than that. But I thought it was important to document the rehab, hopefully inspire some people that this isn't a death sentence, this injury, inspire people to get out and question their reality and, look into their passions, whether it's plant medicine or whatever it is, to just go confidently in the direction of their dreams. And, my story is about a lot of different things. And I've been, very private about my life for a long time. This is the most public, and after this, there won't be a whole lot. So I'm excited about that part as well.
Okay, well, we'll certainly watch it. The boys started watching it this morning. Yep. Kind of see, everything that we don't know or get to see about you, even though we get a chance to have these weekly conversations with you, which is a part of it, I do believe. I heard my voice at one point. I was like, oh, all right, here we go. All of a sudden, I'm hearing my voice in things, and it's starting to freak me out. Like, for instance, tonight, 9 p.m. on Mox, not HBO, not Skinamax.
No.
They combined. They were HBO Mox at one point. Now they're just Mox. Hard Knocks, AFC North, 9 p.m. this evening. I've heard this one's going to be special.
Oh, yeah.
They said they're experimenting a little bit through the eyes of four superstars. Enigma on Netflix. We'll continue this show on YouTube, ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, and TikTok Live for now.
Yeah. Damn shame.
Buy it, Aaron.
Aaron, we need you to buy it potentially. Gather around with some of your rich friends that are flying these drones, and let's make this happen. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. I think we hit it right on, Chris.
Yep.
Right here. Shohei. Bat straight up.
All right, now we can get into the good stuff.
Now we're open to everything. Attached to nothing.
Attached to nothing. Yep, that's what we're doing.
Who made the shirt?
I'm not sure if, shout out Eric Gelfand, our director of PR of the Jets, if he was a part of it or actually he went to the printmaking shop. But after I said that line in an interview, the shirt was in my locker the next day I came in.
It was a bar. When you said it, it was like, oh, that was pretty.
Great line.
Yeah, that was very, very, very solid bar there. So I'm happy it's being memorialized on a T-shirt. Let others say. Should have put the quotes on there, though. Should have put the quotes on there to let it happen. But you got a lot of this. Eric is his name, the PR guy?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I wonder, with the way it's going over there, there's jobs that just remain, right? Like I was thinking about this for the Colts. The equipment staff has been there since the beginning. Like literally, I think there's an employee that's been there since Mora. And they kind of athletic training rooms.
Hammer's been there
since Baltimore.
Like 84, yeah.
I think since Baltimore, the training room has basically remained the same. I assume PR and stuff remains. Do you know? I wonder how that all shakes out in all these places. Because you think about down in North Carolina, Bill Belichick goes in there, Michael Lombardi goes in there, we assume everybody is getting changed. That's college. That's not the NFL, but we assume everybody's getting changed. There's some NFL teams that like keep and don't. I wonder, like in New York, I wonder how that Eric guy feels comfortable. You think? How do you think he feels?
I don't know. I mean, last year, I kind of stomped for a couple people to keep their jobs, and none of them kept their jobs. The ones I stomped for. So I'm not going to do a full on stomp for Eric, but I love Eric. He's an awesome dude. I enjoy working with him. He should be safe. Him and his staff. It's a great staff. They do a really good job. So he should be safe. I love the equipment staff. You guys know the equipment staffs over the years, some of the best dudes on the
blue collar. That's the blue collar group.
Yeah.
That's the blue collar group in there.
But that crew, I've talked about Vito over the years. I highlighted him and his, America's ass on Hard Knocks. But Gus is amazing, and Jimmy and Joe and all the boys in there. It's I always tease Joe. Joe does the footballs. He gets those balls great for game day. He's fucking incredible. I mean, he really is. Like, I told him how I like the footballs, like one of the first days I was in there, and it's a fucking clinic.
Well, Vito's not going to let anybody in there that can't fucking do it. Joe's got a gig because he's the best in the game.
Yeah.
Gus knows that too.
I'm going to put Vito on blast for a second because
Vito.
I'd leave him some messages on his desk from time to time, and I was looking in one of his drawers, and he sneaks some candy in there. He's got some candy hidden in there.
Vito.
Yeah, I see you, Vito. I see you.
Vito's
but
still
yeah, I love those guys. I hope those guys are safe. I hope Eric's safe. I hope Mike Nicolini and his staff. He's our strength coach. He's a fucking awesome dude. He does a great job. He's got amazing staff.
What was his name? Giovanni Pizzolini?
Michael Nicolini.
Oh, okay, yeah, there it is. Yep, I think he deserves to keep his job. The strength coach in America deserves the Jets job more than Mike.
But you never know. You don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows. Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen.
It's anything.
Anything could happen. Anything's possible. But
open everything.
I think the thing that people forget sometimes is, nobody wants to fucking lose, of course. But there's so many great men and women that work at the facility every single day you get to spend time with. And those people have families and loved ones. And, this season is hard on everybody, and everybody's job, players, coaches, support staff, is all in jeopardy. There's a lot of people that could be looking for work. And there's kids involved. There's kids going to schools. There's kids dealing with bullies at schools. There's a lot of other moving parts to it. The spider web of the NFL is pretty vast and deep. And I just hope, that all the great people that work for us get a chance to keep their job, because it's the people that make the organization. Obviously, there's going to be some changes. That's part of it. But, I might be one of those. And again, I'm going to be just fine. But it will be interesting to see what happens.
You will be just fine because you've earned it. You don't just fall to a position where you're going to be A-okay if you decide to retire for the rest of your life and everything like that. But those people in the building are special. They are the building. They are the team.
Building.
They are the franchise. They are. So, whenever you hear some of them say, this ain't it about the building,
They know.
They know.
They know.
They know. They do know how it all goes. And the turnover, I don't think I fully know, because the Colts never change anything. I don't know how other places are.
A lot of places like that with the equipment
staff usually stays, right? Yeah, equipment staff usually is. They've been through multiple head coaches usually.
So equipment staff stays. Trainers, seems like they would probably stay. The medical staff would stay. Strength coach definitely potentially new.
A lot of and I feel like the whole nutrition thing kind of changed a lot when we were in the league. Towards the end, I know everything was sports science and changing the types of foods, and that was a big deal for a lot of even on the road at home. That's a huge deal.
Speaking of that, because it's a different world now, and you've played through all of it, obviously, since the advancement of technology and then the usage of technology. Kurt Cignetti, the head coach of IU, plays Notre Dame on Friday to kick off the 12-team playoff on ESPN. I think it's the first time since 1950 that Notre Dame is playing on a Friday night and then it's not on
NBC, yeah.
and something like that. Zach Osterman of the Indy Star, I do believe, Signetti says he made a rule this week, no phones in the meeting rooms to focus purely on Notre Dame game. Anyone with a phone, take it, your office. Okay, I don't know what he meant there. Every guy got up except for one.
Take it to your office, probably.
Okay, yeah. And Signetti could have been so fired up that he just
Take it off.
Take your office. He's very paisan. He's a Yinzer, obviously, West Virginia guy as well. Hell of a ball coach. And I think we heard a few years back, Cliff Kingsbury, when he was at the Arizona Cardinals, like every 30 minutes, we take a cell phone break where guys are allowed to get on their phone for like 5 minutes so they stay focused in the meetings. It sounds absurd, I think, to people that used to play in the league, just thinking like, yeah, you're not on your phone in a meeting. But it feels like we're in a very different world now. What is that kind of mindset, and how do you feel about what Sig said there and the reaction from his team? Should I be judging them for this in this time?
Yeah, judge everybody. Judge it. Just if you want to be a true ESPN talent, just judge everything all the time. Just judge away, say outlandish things, do that. No, I think I need first and foremost to highlight Carmen and Maddie in our nutrition department. They're outstanding. And also Dave Zuffalato, trainer, who I spent a ton of time with. I fucking love Dave.
Yeah, that guy knows.
and his staff is amazing too. So I think, and I do want to highlight something before I get into the Signettis, who I have a fairly interesting history with. I played for Frank, his brother, Kurt's brother, in Green Bay, who's now in where's he at? Where's Frank at now? He's somewhere on the East Coast, Boston College or one of the
QB coach, right? Yeah,
QB coach. Anyway, I wonder why an owner or somebody making a decision about culture stuff wouldn't talk to those lifers, wouldn't talk to those people about what they've seen, what works, what players are respectful, what players are easy to deal with. And maybe they do, I don't know. But I would think if you want to look at the total package of a player, the full circle is how are they in their weight room, how are they the equipment staff, how are they in the training room, how do they handle their business? How are they in the PR settings? How are they with the media? That stuff all matters. It really does. And if you're going to pay a guy a ton of money, which so many guys, that's what guys want, and they want to be paid at the top of their game, top of their position. I think it's part of being a well-rounded player. I think all those things matter. So I don't know if it does. Maybe it does happen. That's great. But I think some of those guys who are going to be lifers, who should be around, might have some interesting insight into things that they think could help the building, help the culture, or players that are, part of the solution and players that maybe are part of the problem. So interesting thing to think about. When it comes to Signetti, I really enjoy, any comment I've seen from him. Google me on down. They, in my opinion, as I don't watch a lot of college football, but just, I'm a fan of football in general. Shouldn't have been a question that, them being in the playoffs, maybe a higher seed was necessary. They played who's on their schedule. They lost one game, right, to Ohio State. That's the only loss they had?
Yep. At the Horseshoe.
Yeah, so obviously it looks better if Ohio State beats Michigan. But
thank you, AJ.
But I like that. Sean Jefferson, our receiver coach, makes his receivers leave their phones outside the meeting room. That's a really cool thing to do. Yeah, different game. Back then it wasn't even a question. You left your phone in the locker room. That was back in 2005 when you had flip phones. But it's a different game, so you got to adjust. You got to adjust and adapt, and that's part of the growth.
So do guys take notes on their phones now? Because I always wondered.
They take notes on their iPad, I think, if they take notes at all.
Well, an iPad still has like text and stuff, as we know now.
Yeah, yes, we do.
Thanks, Mom.
It also has other things. These guys bought no.
Could be.
They're not watching anything.
I bet there's a couple.
No.
What are you talking about?
Let's pay attention to film, not sex.
I bet they're paying attention to multiple films.
I mean, you never know. You get access to things. These kids these days are just literally.
I don't think they realize if they're using a company pad, they know what's going on there. I mean, just like everybody knows everything.
Yeah.
You gotta live life assuming that everything that is on your phone is
Not if you're the private.
is known by somebody,
Private
whether
browser.
it's an alphabet agency or not. Private browser, VPN, yeah, that's stuff.
So as soon as I see the private browser, I think to myself, oh, so thanks for the information. That's like when I watch a commercial and I learn something about the company that I work with. They're like, we're not like other banks. We're not charging you bam, 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 bam. And I'm like, hold on.
They're charging me bomb, 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 bomb.
I'm getting charged for that. I don't
a lot of bomb bombs.
Yeah, I don't like
bomb
getting
bombs.
charged. I don't like finding that out. But then whenever this private browser pops up, I'm like, well, what the fuck is everything? Oh, and then this one's definitely private, huh? That sounds like a trap. But hey, come over here. You don't want anybody to find out. Come on in. This one's a private one. That seems like a setup. But once again, I'm an old now. I'm not one of these youngs.
Well, we've seen the hacker stuff. If they want it, they can.
Anything.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Anything. So, all right.
It's all public.
But I think I was at somebody was talking somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It was that ESPN college football thing. And there was a lot of talkers.
Mm-hmm.
The way that was set up, I don't know if they thought about the people that were in the audience, but I do appreciate that we got a lot of information. And that was my first time getting to experience like corporate America, you know? But I started thinking to myself, oh, I should take notes because I'm in a meeting. So that's like my natural.
Sure.
I should at least appear to take notes. Like that is something you do in a meeting, especially if you're a professional. And so I pulled out my phone and I was like, all right, I'm going to take notes. And I was in my notes section. And then I thought like 5 minutes in, I'm like, this person.
This guy's fucking texting.
He's not even
This
paying
guy can
attention.
see me clearly. I'm 15 feet away from this person, just hammering away on my phone. And then I didn't want to stop the whole thing and be like, hey, I'm fucking taking, I'm actually listening to you more than anybody in here. So I put my phone away and I'm like, can you even do, I guess you can't. That's an interesting little dilemma. Thank God I'm not in a lot of meetings, is what I'm
That's when you have to make eye contact, like, I'm taking notes.
Notes section.
Not texting.
Notes, I'm doing it.
You want me to send them to you after?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That is a wild time to be alive. We're lucky for it, though. All this futuristic technology.
I mean, think about how they made the explanation of the CFP. They used a lot of future. Yeah.
Have you seen this, Aaron? There is a new banger out here, Aaron.
It's catchy. It's
Congratulations, Aaron Rodgers.
It's awesome.
You're about to experience this.
We're mixing things up, it's about time. More schools get a shot to shine. It's more games and
A lot more fun.
starting with 12,
Counting down to 1.
That's how we crown a CFP national champion. That's how we crown a CFP national champion. First champs keep the dream alive. 1 through 4 get a first round bye.
5 to 8, host 9 to 12.
Half of her head shaved.
Yeah.
Crowds all yell.
Did that because their team lost.
New Year 6.
That's cool.
Lost the bet.
Basis could be your all-time favorite.
What in the hell is this?
What? On the scene.
Things up.
It's about time.
More teams got a shot to shine.
More games
And a lot more fun.
Started with 12.
Count down to 1.
That's how we crown a CFP national champion.
Now you know how it works.
How much money did they spend on that?
Not enough.
Fucking.
They should be pumping that thing.
Yeah.
I think you're feeling that way because it's the first time. AJ, don't you think he's feeling that because it's his first
Right.
time?
Yeah, I didn't really understand it until I saw it the second or third time.
Okay, well, speaking of, ladies and gentlemen, take the
Yes.
tractor another
Pay
round.
attention this time.
Pay attention to the details, please.
More girls get a shot to shine. It's more games and a lot more fun. Starting with 12, counting down to 1. That's how
Stupid.
What? Open everything.
You don't mean that.
If Kyle was in, you'd love it.
Yeah, you get attached to it.
This might be a Cal class.
It is actually.
Might be.
Pay attention.
Is Aaron in there? Is Aaron in back left?
Where's it? That is? No, it's a blonde.
Back left.
New Year 6.
Bowls on a rotating basis.
That's a bar.
Yeah, it is.
Good
Huge
info.
fans.
Good info.
Huge football fans in here.
Person on the scene.
It's about time.
More have a shot to shine. Good alliteration.
A lot more fun.
Started with 12, counting down to 1.
That's how we crown a CFP national champion.
See? You had to hear it
So
twice.
sick.
No.
No.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, 4-time NFL MVP.
Hold on, I'm not done. No, I just got to plug my phone in. Hold on.
Okay, I thought you were leaving because start with 12, count down to 1. He's not done because he needs to know how they crown a CFP national champion. Explains it all.
Aaron, how come Mendoza's leaving Cal?
Yeah, what's that all about?
What's going on?
Yeah. I don't know. He seemed pretty enthused after that win against Stanford. Must be
bowl eligible.
The money.
That's a lot of ball right now. That's a lot of college ball. How do you think Bill's going to do? Have we talked to you about that yet?
I think he'll be great at anything he does. On TV, coaching high school, coaching flag football, coaching the Olympics, coaching North Carolina.
What about Lombardi? You know much about Lombardi?
I don't, but I think it's awesome that he's doing that. It's crazy, though, also that you need a GM for college. But it's the best free agency in the entire sports world. The absolute best by far. These kids every single year renegotiating.
Every single time. Like the 17-year-old wide receiver from Alabama. Alabama loses a highly recruited 5-star D tackle to Colorado.
Wait, did he leave?
The Ryan?
Yeah.
No, but it's being speculated now. And if you were Ryan, why wouldn't you just, hey, maybe? And then in the world that they're in right now, with tampering and not really being a thing that exists, and just being able to call and say, not to him, maybe agent or somebody who represents him, we got $5 million for you over here. All right, yeah, I think I am going in the transfer portal. And then boom, you get the money. It's like, that's the current system. That is the current setup. Here's the D tackle, Jaheim Otis, heading over to Colorado. Colorado gets number 1 quarterback in next year's class. Mm-hmm. But I think not only D tackle, there's a safety maybe or a corner that transferred over there. They're reloading.
Oh, yeah.
They're full on reloading, getting better. And I think Lombardi and Bill, they said that people are calling them, be like, hey, how do we get into this NFL university that you got going on? First signing, center out of Holy Cross.
Of course.
Classic Bill.
Most Bill Belichick move of all time.
Good program.
What a pick.
Most Bill Belichick move of all time. But he said they're going to attack the O-line and D-line.
Mm-hmm.
That is what they are doing in the entire transfer portal. It's a wild time for college ball. Would you think about being a GM or running a college team?
No. When I'm done, I have no desire to do anything that in any position to stay relevant. I'm gonna be in the background.
Yeah, but I thought you were open to everything.
Yeah.
No, I am. So I'm not 100%, but that's what the goal is, and that's what's going to happen.
Well, on this particular show, that was founded and created on a premise that you don't like. You always have an opportunity to work for us forever if you would ever want it. But if you want to be behind camera too, we can put you behind the glass back there. Yeah. Boys would love to have you back there, don't you think?
That'd be great, Aaron. Anytime.
Anytime. Just know that it's falling hard times.
Thanks.
Can't find ayahuasca. No problem.
But just like this year, and any time in the future, I would never take $1 from you guys.
You're the best, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron.
Hold on, I'm not done.
Oh shit.
I just got a PSA. Just
okay.
Quick PSA.
All right. I thought we were.
Just a quick PSA reminder.
Started with 12, count down to 1.
Yeah. Well, we're about to get there.
12, got down to 1.
That's how you crown CFP National Champion. That's a PSA? That's a good PSA. It's a catchy jingle.
PSA is this. I know I got to say this multiple times for people because they don't listen, but say whatever the fuck you want about me. I don't care. But just before you do it, whether you state your name, your accolades, pronouns, whatever it is, just state your vax status so that anything you say afterwards gets put in the right light. Just get it out there. Because then when you say things about me, people can at least be like, oh, you are captured by the multi-billion-dollar propaganda psyop, and you're still upset about it.
Okay.
This will help things out.
Yeah, this is good. This will settle it all down. I appreciate that. And
hey, you know what I mean? Just put that in just so everybody knows where you're coming from. Everybody knows, okay, cool. You're twice vaxxed Moderna with 3 booster shots. And then boom, boom, boom. Say what you want to say. Whatever. I don't care. I'm just saying a PSA. Just please help everybody out who's wondering where is this coming from, including myself. What the fuck is this coming from? But just give a little PSA. You do a little bit of digging, then you know where it's all coming from, right? You're captured, you're highly vaccinated, and then say whatever the hell you want to say about me, because I couldn't give two shits about it. All I care about is that you put that little disclaimer out there, just like it's in the bottom for me that I'm a champ, MVP, and I am enthusiastic about ayahuasca. Just put, instead of your accolades that you need to have out there so desperately, just put your vax status as well, because you cared so much about it, during the COVID years.
All right.
So just put it out there on your bio when you're about on your shows or whatever. You don't just need a brooch with your initials.
Oh, jeez. All right.
Put your vax status on there too.
Okay. All right. And I, as somebody that was, a part of your mentions throughout that entire process and even post, it did feel like a lot of people started hating you immediately upon that entire thing. But I think in the football world, we can obviously all mend fences and move forward. I think that's going to happen. And to the point about the money to you that was paid by me to you, I think that's the difference with this particular program. And I know everybody's me and everybody uses my name in their negotiations, and go ahead, do what you got to do. But as the person that actually runs this company and actually sees the numbers and actually goes through, all the P&Ls and yada, 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 and the sales and how much advertising is worth pre and post situations that take place, the amount of time and effort that you gave to our company in our business on those Tuesdays and the value that it brought, I felt obligated to give you money. And I thought that's how the world was. Like, people are supposed to get paid their worth and their value. So I was actually the one that was like, hey, listen, our company just went from to all the boys are driving good cars. All the boys have fantastic houses. We got families starting, and your appearances have boosted our business mightily. So I felt, in my soul, obligated to pay somebody whose value is what it is, as somebody who came from a household and parents that I wish they would have got paid for the work that they were putting in properly. So that's just kind of my belief. And I think that's how it is with fucking everybody that works in this company. And that's strictly because there isn't, an agent that sees these numbers, or a president of a company, or a CFO, which we do have Phil in there. We've known each other since kindergarten. It's because I actually know my fucking business and the value and the worth and who brings and who doesn't and what it is and how it goes. So yeah, that whole thing being held against me, I was so confused. I was like, what? The guy brought literally hundreds of millions of dollars in a valuation for my business that I own 100% of. And then I'm not, just because he's rich, I'm not supposed to thank him or say, give him his value. That was so stupid to me. So I apologize for putting us into that situation. I had no idea that was going to be viewed in a negative way. I had no clue that was going to be the case, legitimately. So I appreciate, you saying, nah, I'm not.
Look, it's not surprising there's so much jealousy involved in it. I mean, you have a show, and you're not just a bunch of guys sitting around, trying to come up with the most ridiculous take, and justifying your own self-worth nonstop. You guys get the biggest names in sports and entertainment to come on the show. That's not bullshit hyperbole. That's the biggest names come on the show. They're fans of the show. Why? Because it's not a fucking got you show. It's not we're going to snag you into something and get a fucking top of the line on ESPN, headline. No, we just genuinely, you guys are genuinely curious people who enjoy talking sports. And these other shows they don't need guests because they got all the right people on their show, or they don't get guests, not anywhere the same caliber. So what ESPN go? ESPN said, oh, we need this on our network. And then obviously it ruffled some feathers when they're giving you a time slot every single day. So it's not surprising there's a lot of jealousy out there. But I'm just saying here, setting the record straight again. Say your vax status, number one.
All right, okay.
Number two, I'm not getting paid by this show. Fucking love this show. I do this shit for free. So,
well, I appreciate you.
Get your booster vaccine information.
Okay, all right.
Say whatever the fuck you want to say about me, because honestly, I don't care.
But you do hear it. You are human. I mean, you're open to everything, attached to nothing. But I would just I was very, I don't know. I don't even want to get into this conversation right now. Think about all the reasons why I wanted to license my show to a network. All of them. Why I wanted become a part of I wanted us to become a part of that's not real.
No.
That's not real at all. I didn't even think about all of the fuck this guy. And like, I didn't even think about that, to your point. A lot of employees. And you called out ESPN exactly a week ago, so we certainly haven't, helped in the entire thing. But we're like 2 years into this thing now, and there hasn't been like a lot of, and that's, I wanted to be like.
It struck a nerve, too. What I said struck a nerve, obviously. And I didn't say, my whole point of saying that was, most of you, nobody remembers your career. Nobody remembers it. And guess what? In 5 to 10 years, you're not going to remember my career either. So what? That's my whole point.
5 years ago in the Hall of Fame first ballot.
This show is about positivity and having a good time and yucking it up. Like, I don't need to in 5-10 years when people forget about my career, I'm not going to need to find some sort of relevance to be on TV. So all I'm saying is just be humble when you're talking about guys. Just have a little humility when you're talking about guys out there that you don't actually know what they're going through, who they are, where they've been, what their background is. When you're making these grand statements about the type of person they are, the type of player they are, the type of person they are, man they are. Like, you were in the locker room. You were in the locker room, and you remember what it was like. So just take it down a notch on this this expert mindset that you have. And if you're talking about me, do it. I don't care. Just put your back stats out there first.
All right. I'm happy we clarified all that. And now we move on. But it's like, all right, yeah, we move on. We appreciate you, Aaron. You're the man, brother. Good luck this weekend. Big one. Rams are hot. But so are the Jets.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So are the Jets. But are the Jets going to get hovered over by those drones over there?
Well, maybe.
We'll see. Hopefully you guys are good by game time. Hopefully you guys make it. And we'll see you next week, brother.
Can't wait, guys. Christmas around the corner. Hope you got your shopping done.
Well, I got vaxxed and I got my shopping done. So that's good news. Ladies and gentlemen.
This is really dumb. The other one's good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Rodgers. Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought we were out. I didn't know. Wait, one last thing here.
PSA.
I didn't know that was what the PSA was going to be, honestly.
Oh, yeah?
He didn't.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure where he was going with that.
I also thought it was fucking 5 to 8 hosts, not to 12.
Yeah. Quarterfinals, New Year's 6.
Polls on.
Now, he knows how it works now.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Is that running on TV? Is that running?
It ran for like
cut out
2 seconds last night. And then it got ripped off.
What do you mean?
The first 2 seconds started. You saw that too.
Yes, I did.
Okay, awesome.
It was double box. I was watching double box. I can't remember if it was the Vikings Bears game or if it was the other game, but and then boom, cut it off, and it went to like a different commercial.
No way.
Yeah, I said, "Fuck that! Get it off the screen! Fuck that!"
No.
It's crazy. They need to be running that all day.
I actually sat up like, yes.
You remember the advertising people sold the that old lady with the glasses?
Life Alert.
Yeah.
That was on every commercial break.
Yes.
They should run that on ESPN2 for 24 hours a day leading up to the games.
Oh, like the Ocho.
Exactly.
They should run on a red zone since they're doing fucking commercials now.
What's that all about? They said they're experiencing or testing for the future, but also I think all the games ended. Right, there was a time where there was no football being played this past weekend for the first time I think I've seen in red zone time.
Because all the 4 o'clocks are 4:25. There's no 4:05.
Boom, yeah. So there was no games happening. So I think they wanted they said they were testing for the future, I think is what I read online.
Test failed, brother.
Well, that's Scott Hanson's thing, right? Isn't that kind of
7 hours of commercial.
That's what it is. That's what we watch.
So
Yeah.
was it
maybe at least split screen.
They did split screen. It was split screen.
It was.
It was picture in picture with Scott Hanson at his podium and then a Gatorade commercial. I think,
Yep.
Okay.
on the side of it.
So was it during actual games?
I don't think so.
No. There was one during actual games.
Really?
Yeah, Scott Hanson replied to somebody. He is he's upset about it.
It wasn't supposed to happen that way.
I don't know.
So he can't say his thing. Everybody has a thing.
He did say it at the start of the thing too. That's why everybody was so pissed.
Oh, you lied. Now, to be clear, there are a lot of commercials that pop up on LRAPs on that particular red zone. So 7 hours of commercial-free football is actually 7 hours of break-free football.
Yeah, sure.
Because they are,
Which is fine. I get that. That's fine with me. Just
100%.
keep the football on the screen.
that's what we do. I mean, that's what we, now, granted, had to negotiate that, which obviously other people have done, and change an entire advertising strategy at the network.
Before?
Yeah, that's just very normal. Everybody does that. Keep saying my name in negotiations like that. writing up advertising strategy plans certainly happening. I assume everybody else is doing while they're all chatting. But like that red zone is a phenomenal property for the NFL.
Oh my God.
I was thinking I was watching it this weekend.
Huge.
I think that's a massive reason the NFL is growing the way it has.
Oh yeah.
It is great.
Yeah.
And there's a guy here in Indianapolis. His name's Anthony Calhoun, Wish TV. He went to Syracuse. I assume there's been numerous sports jobs he could have went and got, but he just called Indianapolis his home. He is just like Mr. Indianapolis at this point. Friends with everybody, covers every sport. A light, I will say.
Absolutely. Chuck goes on the show every week.
He's a true, he brings joy. This guy brings actual joy to me. I've never seen him down.
Yeah.
Never seen him down ever. So I think that's why everybody loves him. But he graduated, I think, with Scott Hanson in Syracuse. So he went and he took a couple raffle winners because he raises so much money here in Indianapolis. So one of the raffles was to go watch behind the scenes Scott Hanson at Red Zone. So he sent me some videos. Scott Hanson's a fucking talent.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
he's standing there he's got his notes, obviously, because he's got to call games. He's got to call storylines. He's got 2 TVs, and then he's got a producer sitting down with dry erase board on where they're heading to next. And he cut this 45-second promo that Anthony Calhoun sent to me, and he went from 3 different games, carried a storyline in each of them, no flubs, and then looked at the camera afterwards and gave a finger gun. And I don't even think about balancing all that, storylines having to add up, and then having to know who the players are. So he's got game cards for every game.
Insane.
It's a fucking talent. Yeah, he is
impressive.
Really, really good. You know?
Throw some random in there and have him try it to see how good he is. He's directing. So there's a lot happening that he seems to figure it out. And to go 7 hours straight, that dude, he is unbelievable.
Turns out he doesn't stay I don't want to. He doesn't stay at the podium the whole time.
That's fine. That's fine.
saw-
He can
I
be
saw-
taking a leak under the podium for all I care what he's doing.
Like you.
Which we think he does do potentially.
He has to. Yeah.
Anthony Calhoun sent me that video, and I was watching it from my bed. I was watching Red Zone. I just heard what he just said, and I was watching this guy, and I'm like, damn, just the amount of juggling while talking and not bobbling, that is
skilled.
That's a talent on a microphone. All right, let's get to a break. We'll be back on the other side. A lot of things to talk about. So many things.
Tons, man.
AJ, did you hear about that one thing that you wanted to talk about? We're going to talk about it.
Yeah, I won't ruin it. I'll let you tease it a little bit.
Well, yesterday we said that you could potentially ruin some things if you really wanted to, remember?
Yeah, but I don't want to ruin NBA countdown kickoff in-season playoff.
NBA Cup, asswipe.
The fuck was that?
It means more.
There it is.
I just found out there's another thing tonight.
What's that?
You want me to say it now?
No. On the other side,
good
there's
tease.
another thing
Good
tonight.
tease.
Yeah.
Great tease.
Don't ruin it.
We're also going to break down the Hoopers coffee.
Scooters, Coffee Frisco Bowl.
Can't wait.
Flavor of citrus.
Hoopters.
Well.
Hoopters.
Tigers, Mountaineers.
Memphis, that is. A lot of different tigers out there.
True.
It's a good animal.
Only one Mountaineer. I think.
App State.
Yep. As I said it.
Only one playing football tonight.
Bingo.
Sure.
Is that West Virginia playing tonight, or is that the old West Virginia? I'm kind of caught.
That's the ghost of West Virginia Pass.
Well said.
Who's coaching?
Interim head coach, Thomas.
Yeah, Victor Cabral.
No.
Going to be a hot name.
He is coaching, but he's not the interim head coach. He is coaching, though. He'll be on the sidelines with a whistle.
I think it's the OC.
The OC, yeah, stepping in.
Thomas.
Shout out to Aaron Coach Thomas. Blaine Stewart's out there trying to create a hard edge tight end coach. Looking for the tight ends to play well tonight.
Yeah.
Blaine Stewart, obviously generational talent there at coach. Coach for Coach Stewart, West Virginia. Coach for Coach Tomlin. He's been in the game for his whole life. He'll be ready tonight.
Be ready.
Bruce is saying it's actually Chad Scott.
Coach Chad Scott.
Coach Chad Scott.
Former Steelers cornerback Chad Scott.
Let's switch it up.
Yeah, I saw something different.
Keep you on your toes.
I saw it too.
He goes by Coach Thomas sometimes.
Middle name?
Thomas was last night.
Yeah.
Interim coach Thomas Brown.
Yeah,
that's
right.
on me. I was reading the lower third. 100% on me, Chad Scott. He's tasked with a good one.
Sure.
What bowl game's he coaching?
Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl.
Thank you, Mr. McGee.
Yep, he'll be there.
We'll call
Is he
McGee
doing
on the other side.
play-by-play?
What's that?
Does he do play-by-play?
Yeah.
If this goes in, he's doing that.
Oh, please.
Come on.
Guy missed the backboard.
Jeez.
Bonus ball. Yep. That's a universe ball for McGee.
Oh, get there. Yeah.
Yeah, he got it.
That present looks like CGI on the camera.
Yeah, it's really holly jolly. Great work to Zeke, and I don't know who else helped with the.
Someone going to pop out of that?
You never know.
Maybe.
Is Mitt been sitting in there?
Merry Christmas, Bob. Merry Christmas. Maybe that's the case. We do have a candle.
Menorah?
Yeah, the Hanukkah deal.
Menorah?
Yeah, menorah.
Yeah, menorah. Yeah, of course.
The Hanukkah deal, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they
We
call
used to
it.
light
The
one
menorah,
every-
yeah. What's
Where
that?
is it?
Ain't crazy.
Did it start yet?
No, yeah, it's lit over there.
Oh, it's definitely started. I believe.
Really?
I
Yeah.
think.
No.
I'm not Jewish. I don't fucking know, but I think it has.
We had a. Remember that was we actually used to have.
We did.
We used to actually
We
light
did.
the
We
candle.
did it every-
Yeah, it was a fire hazard with all those fucking papers.
Yeah, I didn't even think about how, and also the
the wax
and the the stage.
Oh yeah,
that thing would have
so
went.
much goddamn laughter.
There
on
was.
the thing.
Problem.
So we tried to celebrate, but almost a catastrophe.
We'll spin the dreidel.
This goes in McGee's on play-by-play.
Come on.
This guy sucks.
Jeez.
Ball's fatter.
Yeah.
We'll be back on the other side. All right.
You got banners, you got rings, you got stories forever. All your off-season training, every single weight that you lifted, hill that you ran, sprint that you took, vomit that poured out of your soul because you were giving your all. Who's that coming down the track? It's the mean machine in the red and black. Go dogs, go dogs, go.
Have you seen these numbers this guy's put up?
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. It almost doesn't even seem real.
JT into the clear blue. Touchdown.
His head is an actual block. He's 5'9", and his name's Cam Scatterboo.
How did he stay on balance there? Look at him go. Scatterboo. That one is good. At the buzzer. Clemson wins the ACC.
The eyes of Texas are upon you. Holding on there. Here in the great state of OH. I like SMU not just this year.
Yeah.
I like Brent Lashley and SMU with the future too.
Yeah.
I really like what they're doing. Guys.
You know,
Thank you. The great state of.
Touchdown Jesus has been blessing me for the last 24 hours here on this campus.
Why is football the greatest sport on earth? And do you think football is the greatest sport on earth? And why do you like football?
That's a really deep question there, Pat.
I know. I think I'd get a good answer out of you, though. Like, I think you'd be able to talk about it in a way that I think a lot of people haven't because you've been at the pinnacle of it for so damn long and inside of it. And your brain is a pretty fantastic one. We've learned here over the last few weeks, obviously. Last few weeks, that's it. That's all the time we've learned that.
I think it's the greatest sport in the world for one main reason. It is a true team sport where it is damn near impossible for one person to dominate an entire game. If you look at other team sports, basketball with 5 guys on the court, I think you've seen multiple players over the years. Maybe one player, or maybe 1 or 2 players on a squad be able to dominate and win championships. Baseball, you can have a dominant pitcher and win championships. Soccer, you can have a dominant forward and or goalie. That seems to be a little more of a team sport, but you don't have 11 players engaged at the same time on every play. It is truly a sport reliant on every player on the field to do their job in order to be successful. And I think that's why at times certain star players can get maybe too much credit and maybe too much blame on the flip side, because it does take so many players at the same time in 3 phases to win football games. And I think that's the beauty and the draw of our sport, is that something new happens all the time, because you are literally dealing with 11 humans on the field at one time who all have lives outside of football, and there's distractions, there's a reliance on coaching, there's a reliance on preparation, there's a reliance on diet and performance. I just think there's so many facets to it that you see something new every single week, and I think that's the beauty in our game. When it comes to the love that I have for it, it's rooted, and I think like any player who's played for a long time, the love is not just about our sport, it's about competition. And I think there's nothing in the world for me that fills that need and that hole I have like competition. I think players who played for a long time at a high level, you have that need to be satiated competitively, and it's a love of going out there and going against guys and being in an environment where you know that nothing is guaranteed. And that's why I, at times, I've taken umbrage to people saying that it's easy, because it's not easy. It's never easy. And I think that's the beauty in our game, is that you see things new every single week. It's never easy. And your only thing you're guaranteed is the ability to compete. I love that aspect of it. I love competing. I love going out there and harnessing the fear of failure, where I think so many people who maybe don't love football as much, the root of that is a deep fear of failure, that you might go out there and your best might not be good enough, and that's not okay with you.
This guy sucks. This guy's the worst of all time. Almost. Timmy. Almost.
Corbin, that was good.
That was the worst we've ever seen.
Hey.
I think you're nervous in front of Bob Dylan.
No.
I think that's probably...
No. One more shot. One more.
You want the Texas guy to get one more kick? All right, how about this? Kirk Herbstreit said he'll match another $200,000. I will as well. This is an $800,000 kick, Corbin.
Yeah!
This guy's got no shot.
Come on, Harry.
Come on, Herbie. Timmy, you want a match?
Yeah, I'll get in there too.
Okay, all right, sweet.
Is that 1.2?
Yeah, it is.
$1.2 million kick.
Yeah. Holy hell.
Let's go.
Everything just got very real all of a sudden. That first attempt was god-awful. But now you got a $1.2 million operation. All you got to do is kick the ball through those uprights. This looks shorter than 33 yards. Stanford.
Is that legally binding?
Yeah.
That's a legally binding offer.
Yeah, we got you,
You're
Timmy.
the lawyer, Corbin. Is that a real offer?
Yeah, it is. It's on camera.
It is? Okay.
Hey, bro, somehow he got under that ball.
Yeah, he said it was like a 9-iron. That was more like a duff of a wedge, bub.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and try to maybe bring out the 1-iron.
On one hand, we've never seen
1.2 million.
Come on, Corbin.
1.2.
Holy hell! That's a lot of money. You're a lawyer. You live nice. You wear suits. But 1.2 million could change a lot of things. On SEC Championship Saturday in Atlanta for $1 million. That got pretty expensive.
I'm starting to sweat.
That was too close.
Corbin, I'm starting to
Thought we got hustled. Bob Dylan coming out on Christmas. The movie's supposed to be Oscar-worthy. Tim Cooper, thankfully stopped by. Herbstreit's awesome. Reese, that got a little bit of nerve-wracking there for a few moments. Back to you.
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Dan in Connecticut. Lovely place here on the 5 Energy phone line. What's going on, Dano?
Oh, what's up, Pat McAfee?
Dan, you are too young to listen to this show. I can tell through. I think. How old?
I'm not Dan. I am Owen.
Mitt. Owen, how old are you?
It's so different.
I am at 8.5.
Oh, that's cute.
8.5. If you're telling us you're half age, you're too young to be listening.
That's a record.
It stinks.
What's on your mind, pal?
What do you want to talk about, Owen?
I want to talk about how inspiring this show is and how you're inspiring this whole entire world with how you're talking about sports and how you're talking about your life experience.
Thank you, Owen.
Owen, thank you.
Love you, Owen.
Thank you,
Owen, I'm taking her on
and
the
also, fuck Boston.
I will let Owen know, if you're still listening, Owen, you're inspiring.
Best kid ever.
Owen, the way you talk about sports is inspiring.
Yes!
I didn't know 8.5 could do that.
Wow.
Shout out Owen.
That time.
Go, Owen.
Hey, Owen. New generation in Connecticut, I guess.
He was making me feel good, too, by the way. He was making me feel good, making the show feel good. He was talking us up. He was hyping us up, and then boom, a little.
Was this Aristotle's brother?
A little misdirection from Aristotle's brother, Owen, at 8.5 there. That was awesome.
I'd say he put his balls on your forehead, but I don't think they dropped yet. So.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our Holly Jolly Thunder on this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, December 17th, 2024. Hour 3 of the program starts now. Football! He is wonderful. That's AJ Hawk. The Talks the Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys AP Tone is here. 9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler is here looking so cool. So cool.
You too.
Always hats. A lot of hats in the yard here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A lot of hats. I almost wore a hat today.
Well, you got good lettuce, brother.
I'm actually in an interesting spot. Thanks for bringing that up. I don't know if I'm going. I think I'm going back short. I was trying to do this long thing.
I like where it's at right now.
I hate. I don't know. It's hard to do.
Long's fun. I actually just trim mine.
How short?
Not the good.
Just what I normally do. Just like what I'd done for a long, long time, which is basically high, tight, but little middle. And then I have so many cowlicks. You know, my hair's going 14 different directions. So as it gets longer, it gets more annoying to kind of tame, you know? So the pre-show things all of a sudden become like, holy fuck, how much time do I have? I got 6 minutes. How do we do it? So I'm about sick of it. If it means, but I appreciate the compliment.
No problem.
That's very nice. If I could get to like that length overnight, I would. Like I would like to get my hair back to being long. Yeah. But there's so many steps you got to go through to get there. It's tough to do.
That's what the hat's for. Is you got to ride the hat for 3 months at least. That's how we got here. I just chopped mine to my neck because it was getting almost too long.
Oh, JC cut that?
You know, it'd be a good length for you.
What's that?
Come on.
JC's good dude.
I love JC like a brother. No, it's
what's so funny, Gumpy? What are you laughing about, Gump?
He loves JC. It was a good time.
Yeah, you wouldn't let him cut. You wouldn't let him trade the mullet.
Genuinely do. No, this is just kind of wake up on Saturday like I think it's time. And I said if I don't go right now, if I wait, I won't do it. So I just need to go, get in there, and get this shit fucking done.
And you did.
And I did.
And it looks good. We noticed. Then we were talking about it.
Honestly,
it looks unbelievable.
That's why I feel great about it, is because you guys didn't notice.
We did. Weren't we talking about it?
I would have been much more worried if you guys were like, did you cut your hair a lot this weekend? But you didn't. That's why I feel good.
We were thinking the mullet looks spry, but we didn't want to disrespect.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know what kind of product you'd put into it.
Yeah, sure. You guys didn't notice, but again, that is a great
I
we
did
noticed.
Sure.
We've been talking
I asked
about
you got a haircut.
That's the best part about it, I think.
That we've been talking about it?
No, that you guys had no fucking clue that I got a little haircut. Because it was egregiously long.
We didn't want to disrespect you and say like, wow, is Connor losing his hair, bro?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We didn't want to. Looks good.
It does.
Thanks, guys.
I need a haircut too, though, so I feel your pain.
Wednesday.
I got no pain. Yeah, you can get one tomorrow.
I ain't got 45 minutes. I ain't got 45 minutes.
I woulda.
This is a 20-minute, 25-minute tops haircut, and I ain't fucking sitting down for a minute longer than that.
It's easy, boys. You just gotta sit down and say, "Hey, make it quick," and it happens.
Oh yeah, like I've never tried that before.
I don't know what you're doing wrong, man.
I would have waited till Wednesday and had JC do it. I woke up
and had the urge
with like the
You need to get back in there. You haven't given him. He was trying to learn your hair. I think that's why it took a little.
He had plenty of opportunities to learn my hair. When he does cut it, he does a good
great job.
He does a great job. But he
cuts my hair quick because he knows.
There's a lot going on in the mornings.
A lot.
There's a lot going on in the mornings. You know, and like I said, 25 minutes. Not a second longer. But I can't get up if 3/4 of it's done and it's been 25 minutes. Then I'm gonna break my.
You want me to
rules.
cut your hair? I cut my hair. What was that before? Penn State.
Yeah, Penn State stopped and got clippers.
Yeah, on the way home, get it in the bus just beforehand. Was trying to trim beard, accidentally too low here. So you go too low here, you got to go. All the way up here.
You're trying to fade. You fade yourself.
Check it out, Penn State. First time ever in my life.
Wow,
Did it in my
that's
bus.
difficult.
20 minutes before we're live, full panic. I got a real scene here. You know, because back in the day, had you ever seen those dudes that had their shit cut up here?
Oh, yeah.
Like this is where they're, and they just thought that was okay. It wasn't.
Like Peaky Blinders.
It was never okay. So I had that situation brewing. Had to scroll it over, get that thing to 1.5.
Oh boy.
2, 2.5. Yeah, and then I just did for like right here.
That's scary.
And I was like, can't turn head too much.
That's scary.
It's so scary. I was so fucking scared. Because if I
Oh, yeah. You're
oh, my
done.
God.
You're done. That would be awesome, though, if all of a sudden you came out on set on game and you're just fucking bald.
I go full series.
Right there.
At that point.
Look at it. Boom. Pause. You can kind of tell.
Okay.
Looks good, though.
Yeah, but you can kind of tell, though. You see the hard line right there on the side of my head, which is going to take place. But, yeah, that was a bust 20 minutes before the show. Herbie even brought it up because as soon as I walked up, he goes, you get a haircut? I go, man, you don't know how good that sounds. And he brought up within the first, minute and a half, look at your hair. Got it on the bus this morning. It was very nice. That Home Depot bus is pretty good.
Yeah,
you know, that they got on there. I'm not on the side of it. Hopefully one day be able to figure that out. But the inside, when you go on there, it's all set as suited and booted.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
back,
cool.
the back area back there.
Oh, that's how doers get things done.
Care if
Exactly.
I take this helmet off? Yeah, I can't. I'm out of it.
What's that, buddy?
That kid who wanted to take off the Home Depot helmet.
Oh, yeah, it was at Ohio State, I think. It was a hell of a college game day year.
Yeah.
Truly.
So many fucking
Best
moments.
ever.
Most watched of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the last 3 seasons.
You don't say.
Yeah, college football has been back, obviously, post-COVID. It's been a phenomenal run. The kick has been, hard not to, think about after it happens because it's so electrifying. The crowds that have surrounded those kicks, they're very passionate, and they have to get over there early. There's people that have to get over there because normally it's, kind of side stage. So, the passion of these fans, especially the ones that come out to game day, this year, and obviously I've only been there 3 years, this year they've been electric. The crowds have been a character on the show, and they have been awesome. And obviously, Daniel Villasenor, who started a huge charitable portion of the field goal kick. I think Vans and Tim's ended up donating another $100,000 to hurricane relief. I think it was $600,000 in this particular kick. I think we ended up at 1.1 or $1.2 million. I think 1.22 million. Maybe donations. I think over $1 million to hurricane relief, and then 100-some thousand to a couple of, I think Buckeye-thon at Ohio State got paid to, and then there was an iPad for patients in Children's Hospital down in Texas A&M that we gave $50,000 to. But yeah, it was an awesome year, and I would like the fans know that come out. You guys make that fucking show. I mean, no questions asked. Every show is begging to have a fan base that will do that. And I think all the fans feel like they have to show up for their school. They have to show up. It's it's become a thing. But the amount of time and effort that so many people put in to get on and get in the program is so cool. And then you think about, obviously, Kirk, who's been the face of college football for so long. Dez, I think this is his 20th season on College Game Day. Wow. Reese, decade, I believe. And then Coach Corso, 30 years. It's like Nick Saban coming in and being as good as he is at TV has been awesome. And I get a chance to have dinner with him on Friday nights, and it is spectacular. That is a good time. He has so many stories because he's done so many things. Been a part of parades, obviously, numerous parades. Been a part of, business does business. Winning teams, great players, you name it. I mean, it was a fun year for College Game Day. And we got a long run coming up.
Yeah.
Friday night, Indiana, Notre Dame will be after the noon kickoff game ends, live from South Bend, outside the stadium for just like normal game day, outside the stadium, and then we'll move inside, I think, for the final hour as fans file into that historic stadium up there in front of Touchdown Jesus and everybody. And then Saturday morning, we'll be back live in Columbus, Ohio, and I think there's going to be, maybe some Tennessee faithful, but the Ohio State Buckeyes fans, I thought Indiana was going to go. Buckeyes fans showed up for us in a massive way when we went up there for Buckeyes, Indiana. It's like, it's cool. We got a lot of great things on the horizon. It was a fun fucking year. And then halftime this week.
Congrats to you, brother. You crushed it. I don't know how you have that type of energy to bring that juice. And I'm sure I'm speaking for a lot of fucking people. Definitely brought the juice back to that show. Obviously, it's been in our life, but great fucking job.
Thank you, D-Butch. I appreciate that. Yeah, I feel like that's a good show for my particular skill set.
Yeah.
A lot of people think it's no skill, no talent at all. I think you ask wrestling people, I think they would consider it a little differently. I don't think everybody can just speak to a crowd or whatever. But, like, the fans, the crowds that show up are so good.
Yeah.
Like, they are ready.
Going to the schools, too. Like, going to Cal this year was bananas. Same with going to Indiana was unbelievable,
Cal
too.
and Herbie.
Yeah, good locations this year.
Yeah.
Feels like.
I think so, too.
Like, even the ones that you've already been to, like you just mentioned Ohio State. Like
Ohio State showed up.
In the past, yeah, maybe not so much, but like a year like this when it has been so many big-time games.
Yep.
Every single week, it's been, like, incredible to
Yeah, it's
watch.
been a lot of fun. Got to go to Texas A&M a couple times.
Twice, and both times was great.
Yeah,
Texas,
Texas,
that's very rare.
Bingo, they showed up both times.
Yeah.
And I think, like, learning about that place and that fan base was fun. Learning about the Texas A&M-Texas rivalry was a lot of fun. A lot of storylines this year, too, AJ. A lot of storylines.
It's awesome. That's why we get to see the biggest football games in college now, and hopefully moving forward it will. But I think Friday in South Bend is going to be unreal. For real. I think those people are juiced, both Indiana and Notre Dame. Notre Dame to be hosting the playoff game at night, cold. Yeah, this is set up to be awesome.
Yeah, it's a great way to kick the whole thing off,
No doubt.
And I think, like, I don't think it's a hated rivalry either. If how I'm reading it from talking to the Hoosier people that I know, and I don't know that many Notre Dame people. Bill McComas is a lifelong Notre Dame fan alongside his father. They went to games, and I assume father's father and everything like that. But, like, Indiana fans that I spoke to actually pulled for Notre Dame a lot when Notre Dame was playing football because they were representing the state of Indiana. And now they have a team, and now it's a college football playoff game happening there. I think it's all kind of surreal to a lot of Indiana University fans. So I think, like, they're going to be pumped to be there. And then the Notre Dame fans, like, I think, hospitable. I think it's like a great host, a great, like, scene up there. So, yeah, the last time we were game day there, the place was fucking, it was the biggest one they had. It was the biggest one we had or whatever until JMU came along and had their entire alumni and everybody show up for us. But it's like, this should be an awesome environment. Like, electric, obviously, but I think it's going to be like a very joyful.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's going to be a very, very good environment to kick off the 12-team playoff. And
a little bit of flurries.
Yeah, it'd be perfect. Went on Amazon yesterday. Bought the finest turtleneck I could find.
Get yourself a heated vest.
We are in turtleneck season.
Yep.
Okay. It's always a question, though, whenever you're looking at the Amazon photo of these things. How thick is the material?
Yep.
Because you can get some thin turtlenecks that are just for fashion. I ain't in for that. Okay. You can get two thicker ones that aren't. Can't do that. No. I need a good thickness that'll keep me a little bit warm here, and then it needs to look Steve Jobsy.
Sure.
I need to look professional out here. And that's what we're doing, both Friday night and Saturday morning. Don't want to give away too many. Cold as shit in Ohio, I think, right, on Saturday?
Yeah, right now it's okay, but yeah, it's going to be pretty chilly.
It was like 60 here yesterday.
Yeah, it's like 50 today. It's
I think I
going to
saw
be nice.
20
too.
20 at kickoff for both games.
Yeah.
Hands and feet. Got to keep your hands
Friday
and feet
and
okay.
Saturday.
That's the key.
Agreed. That's why if you, like if we ever go back to or go to a place like Montana State or something, and it's like -20, don't you worry about how nice those shoes are or those boots are.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the fashion stuff.
Nope.
You're getting the how do I not get hypothermia boots.
Exactly.
And you put those fuckers on and you figure out what pants you can wear with those boots. That was cold as shit. Guys were getting like actual couldn't feel their feet. Like Reese Davis, I think, couldn't feel his feet. Kirk couldn't walk because he couldn't feel his feet because of how cold they it was so cold. But they have like these nice, like, hey, these boots are made for colder weather,
Meant for it.
They're like fashionable though. And like I assume a tailor's like, yeah, you'll be good for this particular, but you don't know until you get there. And then all of a sudden those fashion boots certainly are good. But then once those freeze, and then what do you, well, now you're just in a fashionable igloo.
Yeah.
And that's your foot that's in there.
I'll figure out something for the toes, feet.
I think there's heated socks. Anyone try the heated socks?
Yeah, you get thick socks. That usually helps them.
Wool socks, and then you break open a pack and throw them in your shoes.
That's
What do people do who put bags on there? That's for rain? Is that for
Wear not. You know what? For your hands, though, we should bring Saturday. I could bring some rubber gloves to wear under your gloves because that definitely holds. That's what I played with those. I'd put the rubber gloves under my gloves.
Would you wear long sleeve? No.
Not in games.
No,
but
of course not. No.
Like I said, hands and feet. They have the little stick-on toe warmers you could put on top of your toes, which unfortunately my cleats were so tight they wouldn't help anyway because it's
That was always the issue for like kicking balls, and I assume in a fast position DB. Yeah, too many socks can't really do. Like basketball, I think they wear like 3 socks, some of those dudes.
I don't know how that works because that's just
Slide?
I get blisters and shit if I wear too much.
Sometimes in basketball they need them because they have to wear bigger shoes because the ankle braces. So in the front, because the ankle brace, there's so much room at the front. So you wear the extra socks in order to like fill out the front, so you're not like bending the shoes like a jackass, like a clown.
Every sport I've played, you're trying not to slide in your shoe at all.
Yeah.
No.
You know, like soccer, kicking, and even volleyball, you're not trying to do that. But we did have the ankle.
The ankle braces is where they get you.
The ankle savers, I think is what they're
As long as it's not windy, I really am not that way.
I think it's going to be windy.
Ohio on Saturday night.
It's actually not supposed to be. I believe I looked at it yesterday.
It'll be wind. Yeah, let's plan for a little bit of wind. I think we should.
Let's assume the horseshoe.
Yeah.
Little bit's fine.
Being able to move though is a big deal.
Yeah.
It's not like we just have to stand there, stay put, and just fucking freeze our asses off.
Now,
for
to
4
be
hours.
clear,
It's been our move.
It has been.
Yeah.
But if you get super cold, you can shuffle a little bit to the side, shuffle a little bit to the other side, and then you set back in, and then you when you get cold again, shuffle a little bit more, shuffle a little bit more.
we talk about McGee. I thought him, Marty, Cole, and Harry did a great job. And then it got booted to ESPN the Ocho for 39 seconds left in that game, the SEC Championship.
Yes, it did.
I had to go find out. I thought they did a great job. Almost like, you guys want to?
You want to do all that?
We're lucky to do it. Obviously, we're very lucky and thankful to do it, but don't be surprised you see those boys on the sideline again. I think they've earned themselves another opportunity.
They were great.
Once again, I'm kind of the one hiring there, so, kind of my, so if you're going to continue, there's levels to this shit, and a lot of things, so I just would like that to be remembered, in this entire situation, but that would be on Saturday night. There is a little snow potentially.
That'll be sweet.
That would be sweet because we had that.
It's the first year too. Like I'll remember this forever. I mean, like just think of it. Last year we got to see Saban's last game in college football. Harbaugh's last. Well, I guess we don't know what's going to happen in the future, but probably Harbaugh's last game in college football, and now we get to see we're going to be on the field for the first game in the history of the college football playoff. Like that's.
Ryan Day's last game ever.
Maybe Ryan Day's last game
doing
ever.
anything.
Come on.
Man, that is an interesting situation over there. Just for how good his record is as a head coach in Big Ten football, it's like nobody cares.
No.
In Ohio.
They were a field goal away from beating Georgia, who won the national championship 62-7. And they were about to beat them.
They were getting backups reps in the national championship. Georgia.
Not just backups.
Yeah, second, third. You're right.
Third,
in like
fourth
the third quarter.
stringers.
Yep.
Third quarter, they're getting in.
That was the first time we saw Carson Beck.
Yeah.
Yes. So tall he came jogging in. Holy hell! Look, how's he? It's not good. What are they doing? What's Georgia doing? I guess because they're not playing this week, nobody's really talking about it.
Right.
What are they going to do?
That's the party.
His
He
gunner.
can't throw.
Well, his gunners, they found his helmet. They,
His
He'll be
brain's
ready.
still down there, but his body and head and everything are.
What a dog.
Yeah.
What a fucking dog. The photo of him when he's flat down, very scary.
His leg, too. He-
Bent back, eyes rolled up, and then he just jumps right back up, ready to play football again. It's like, hey, Gunner, I'll tell you what, bub. You're all right by me. Your toughness is all right by me. I don't think it's smart to get those shots all the time.
No.
Don't be jumping into those types of
SEC championship, though?
Bingo.
Buy on the buy?
Need it.
Come on.
How about them winning that? Georgia.
Awesome.
What's Texas?
They got a tough one.
Texas could be very good. Like, you look at their roster, you think, that team, very good. But then do you know? Clemson.
11.5.
I know. Against Dabo. And I think that's Clemson just got a transfer wide receiver.
Yep.
Out of the transfer portal. Yep.
From Southeast
Is this
Missouri.
the first one ever?
That's how it was being reported. Yeah, breaking, Southeast Missouri State, transfer wide receiver. Tristan Smith has committed to Clemson. Dabo Swinney's first transfer portal commitment ever. Now, I talked to Dabo about the transfer portal, I think it was week 1 before they played Georgia on College game day. He was on the field walking around, and I mentioned to him about the portal, about how he doesn't use it, old school, new school. And he was kind of a little like, hey, it's a two-way street here. Like, it's not just us, it's like also... Like this is I've tried, I think he said, to get a couple guys, and then we weren't the right place for them. Because I think he runs his ship, how he runs his ship. So if he finds his guys, I think he's been open saying, like, I'll bring guys in, but it's got to be right fit and everything. But Clemson wins the ACC for what, the 8? How many years straight? What was it? 7 out of the last 8 or something?
Yeah, because what was it? Pitt with Pickett was the only year.
And Whipple.
Did they win? Did Florida State win it last year?
Yeah.
Yes.
So what, how many there's some ridiculous absurd.
Is it? Yeah, it has to be like 12 or 15 or something. Because it's only been that.
That's more.
People forget about Clemson when they were rolling. They really do.
And they might think that they're rolling right now. Now, Phil Maffa and the boys haven't been able to run as well. Cade Klubnik, though, can get it. The way he runs is fantastic.
9 times he's won the ACC.
9 times out of 12?
In 2011, then 2015 to 2020, then 22 and 24.
So he won 6 in a row from 2015 to 2020.
5 in a row, yeah, 2015 to 2020.
He's only been there 12 years?
No, since 2009 was his first.
Oh, okay.
That's ACC championship games.
Oh, okay.
I think is what he was referring to. And then he talked about Bill Belichick yesterday elevating the Atlantic Coastal Conference. He used, I think, the full, not the ACC.
Like that.
That's that boy.
So he likes Bill Belichick experience. Next year, Bill Belichick's got Clemson in North Carolina. And we don't know much about Bill. We've just got a chance to chat with him. If you look at the schedule for North Carolina next year, if they get a win over Clemson, going to be tough. But if they get that win over Clemson,
it might be going to the playoffs.
That is we might hear Bill Belichick at the end of the season saying, our boys deserve our boy. And Michael Lombardi will be like, so who are you going to put in? I mean, seriously, who, you're going to put Bill Belichick or his team? Or look at the wins. Look at the win. How we've won. Look at this entire. They got a real opportunity to win now. They got a real opportunity. Speaking of winning now, West Virginia's last game is Neil Brown's era's Mountaineers is tonight. Everybody knows they're going to be watching the
Scooter's Coffee Frisco Bowl.
Bingo. Boom. That is 100% the case. And the person that'll be on the call is an absolutely legendary lad. And he has a green text, so I can't FaceTime.
Okay. That sounds right. That sounds like McGee.
Mountaineers are 5.5-point dogs, I believe.
Woo!
Oh,
we need dogs. I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear
sign.
That. We're going to find out who the dogs are on that particular team. And by we, I mean fans, but also more specifically, Hard Edge Rod.
This is GG's last game.
At West Virginia?
Yeah.
See, can come back?
I do not know.
Because if he can come back, his style of play, actually not bad.
Might work.
For Coach Rodriguez.
Watch.
I mean, I think, love Gary Green. Let's let him play his game. I mean, I just assume Rich Rod would be, turn a new chapter, new day and age in the program.
He's probably got eligibility because he enrolled in 2020, and with the whole COVID thing, he's probably still got.
When is that done? I'm so tired of fucking guys getting
maybe like a year or 2,
9 years. Like,
what do you mean?
Get in the workforce. Get your CDL, brother. Move on. Give these kids a chance. The high schoolers, let them get a Sky League, JUCO, transfer. Like, there's too much going on. Man.
That's not even the worst one. I mean, there's kids that were in like Justin Herbert's recruiting class. Have you seen that?
Alan Bowman.
St. Brown.
Still,
St. Brown. Yeah, I've seen the side by side of like graduating in 2018. Come on.
So you don't like these older guys taking kind of the younger guys' spots?
Man. You got to think. Like when I did the Hall of Fame thing at Broward, the guy, one of my coaches, he coached my high school.
Congratulations, guys, are Hall of Fame.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But he told me since the transfer portal, NIL, really transfer portal started, Division I scholarships across sports for high school athletes in Broward County have dropped like 47%.
Jeez.
Yeah. So, like, that's insane because obviously that's a hotbed for talent. So if it's in Broward County, you can just imagine where it is in Marion County or some other county in other states. So, like, I mean, we got kids. It's like at some point they're going to be get recruited and shit. And I'm all for getting second chances, third chances, but I'm also for high schoolers. Like that's why I can respect what Dabo's doing as far as like high school, building up the program, keeping those guys in there, actually building the culture. Like that's tough to do, especially in an environment like this.
I've talked about this over the last few years because a lot of high school punters don't really get looked at anymore because there's a 26-year-old Aussie that has been a professional already, has a family, is been around. He comes in. I would definitely say, if I'm a coach, I'm going to take a 26-year-old with a family to trust to punt the ball over a 17-year-old American kid who might become a guy. You know,
you can't blame the coaches. Shit, they're running professional teams at this point.
And I can't blame the Aussies because it's an opportunity. You know, but also the way it works out, it's like, can we put is there some sort of, can we figure out this? There has to be a place in the middle.
Got it.
There has to.
Maybe.
Now, granted, there's ex-baseball players American baseball players who come and play when they're like 30 years old.
Yeah, we had a vet, I think,
Whedon.
He was like 28 when I was in college.
Joel Klatt did it.
Joel,
J.R. Haas. Didn't Dan Orlovsky say he could hit a dong on
Joel Klatt?
On Joel Klatt, yeah. And he just...
He did not.
Hey, where do you want me to put this one? Dan?
Or no, yeah, he said
The
he
other way
could strike him out, I think, and Joel Klatt was like, no, you can't.
And he didn't.
And Joel Klatt was like, okay, I'm gonna hit an Oppo homer off you right now and just
He's very good.
You know, you want me to pull this one down the line? Okay, sounds good.
Baseball's awesome.
Yeah.
Juan Soto's a Met.
Yeah, I'm over that. Who gives a shit?
Anything else?
Guy's a loser. He will be a loser. I mean, he's won a World Series, but you know, he went.
That was quick.
He went to a loser. That's what happens. Sorry. Sorry. And guess what? The Yankees are taking the money that they would have wasted on Juan Soto, and they're spreading it around, and they're going to end up being 10 times better next year.
Well, look out! Pittsburgh Pirates are coming.
Bingo. They traded. They got a big trade. Some guy I've never fucking heard of, but he go play first
Why are they
base.
putting Jared Jones on the market? He's still a young lad.
He's one half of the Hundo boys.
Yeah, he's on the market. They'll move him.
We need bats. We got plenty of arms.
Is there anything baseball happening tonight?
No, still just, we're knee deep in the MLB hot stove right now.
Of course.
Yeah, winter meetings.
We got the Scooters Cup.
Yep.
NBA Cup.
Yep.
No baseball.
Yep.
Nope.
A lot of hockey. We got a lot of hockey tonight.
Yeah, a lot of games on the slate.
Big slate.
Any that are like, even money?
Toss-ups.
Maybe. We'll have to see. There's a couple close ones.
Really?
Coin was wrong yesterday.
Whoa. We don't even negative PR for the
coin.
Coin never
put
had
a lot
a
of
chance.
negative juju onto the coin
They
before it
did.
even had a shot.
There's a show that runs from the Thunderdome every single day that's about sports gambling. It's called Hammer Dahn. And they've had a full-on assault of this thing called the coin. This coin is one of the best characters of the fucking show. I hate to break it to the people that run the show.
It's the best character.
You are who I'm talking to. I'm talking to you right now.
What are you talking about?
Your fucking attack on the coin.
Someone's got to be a heel.
Yeah, but you caused the guy to be gun shy for the last 2 months. You
Is
don't
that
even
my
know
problem or his problem?
Well, you're right. Hey, you getting bullied by this guy for the last 2 months.
Listen, I only show up when I get a text to come in there and give my picks.
Oh, okay. So you've been trying to hide him.
We'll screenshot. I text him every day.
Every day.
A lot of this.
Just listen. A lot of finger pointing. What's up with our culture? That's a Hammer Dahn culture, obviously.
Whoa.
Don't get me started.
Not enough of this.
That's right. Coin. Coin was a winner last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, Coin started like 15-0 last year.
And it stopped showing.
And now Nick sits over here every day waiting for his text, I guess, to go to Hammer Dahn. And I literally, you need to know this is happening while you guys are doing the show. I go, we got a coin day or what? Because I got maybe a call I got to go do. I got something I got to maybe go talk about. We doing a coin day? Nah, not today. It's like, all right. Okay, I guess I'll go fucking do this. Coin's fun.
Yeah.
When the coin is announced.
Oh my God.
It's like a conch.
Like ants to sugar, flies to shit.
Yeah, there it is.
Bees create honey. You get it.
Yeah.
Still, they go to it.
They do.
Boom. Right into the hammer. Everybody's jacked up.
Everybody.
Stick taps everywhere. Pop, 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 pop. And you guys have tried to kill this thing. I don't like it.
It's a shame.
I would like to go on the record saying I don't like what you did.
I don't like what I did either.
Okay, so you did do it. You were the one that did it.
Well,
Well said, Tony.
That's big of you, Tony.
That
Thank
is
you.
big of you, Tony.
The coin's a fucking winner. Although last night it was a big fat loser, wasn't it?
It was. And I just want to be clear, I do love the coin. I just had to hate it last night because it picked against
the Panthers.
That's fair.
What was the final score of that game?
5-4?
6-5. 5-3 Oilers.
Well, I
Huge
saw
comeback by
Rhino
the
go up
Cats.
5-4, and I knew it was over.
Well, no, because they're down 5-3.
Yeah, it would have been 5-4 the other
4-3.
way.
But you get it. I mean, same deal.
Yeah, I mean, at one point you are down 4-3.
It's good to see the Cats just get a win for the first time in a while.
Oh, wow.
How are the Penguins? Yeah, it's been a long time. You guys been a little cold.
Winos are playing puck right now, to be fair.
Damn right we are. Damn right we are. I love everything about it.
Nick's shaking his head back here.
What?
Yeah, they're not.
Sounds like they're not playing puck.
Who?
What are you talking about?
Oh, it's funny you say that, Foxy. Who's your team?
The Red Wings.
And what do you call your guys' city?
Hockey Town.
Yeah, let me fucking break some news to you. Okay? I got a little piece of information that says Pittsburgh is and will always be Hockey Town. Did you know?
Kaboli write it?
Kaboli potentially a part of the research project to find out this piece of information?
Still watching Chargers Chiefs.
Pittsburgh was the... He's catching up.
Tuesday Night Football?
Yeah, he's catching up. Pittsburgh was the first place to have ice indoors to play hockey, and Pittsburgh also invented the glass that they put up around hockey rinks. So we created fucking hockey. You're welcome.
That's your stat. That's the stat that you were ready to.
The first
We created hockey. Yeah, these Canadians were dancing around on ponds all day.
Have you ever played pond hockey in your life? Anyone from Pittsburgh? Have you ever played pond hockey?
We have
in your
rivers,
life?
you asshole.
Have you ever
There's bodies
played river
inside of them.
hockey? No. That's why you'll never be Hockey Town. How many Stanley Cups do you guys have? Not as many as the Red Wings.
Okay.
I grew up playing pond hockey with the boys. That's the origins of the sport. We invented hockey. That's why we'll always.
We don't have ponds, buddy. It's Gritzburg. Okay,
I played on the pond. You sound like an idiot right now.
Okay, we have
Foxy.
ponds. I just found out.
Ponds and,
Exactly.
ponds
And Detroit didn't.
Ponds and rivers are cute.
Saskatoon did.
Last place this thing been Atlantic Ocean.
All right.
Ever heard of it?
Okay, they're not playing any frozen Atlantic Ocean hockey down there.
New
in
hockey
South
town,
Florida.
buddy.
Credit to Pittsburgh for making the sport a little bit better, though.
Without Pittsburgh,
That's a big deal what you guys did.
Yeah,
there.
they wouldn't be able to play hockey in Florida. We know that.
Exactly.
Thank you, Pittsburgh.
Or in Boston.
No, that's not true. No.
Wouldn't be able to play.
That's not. Look, I'm trying to help you out here.
You need the glass.
Don't come.
I don't need a lifeline, brother.
I'm
telling the truth.
Sounds like you do. So don't come at Boston. You know who played long before the Penguins? The Boston Motherfuckers.
Yeah, but you guys would have been playing out there in the bay.
We won when it mattered.
You guys would have been skating on the tee that got tossed out into the hobby.
No, we got plenty of ponds, brother. Okay, all in New England. And we didn't need to play on fucking ponds. Because guess what? We didn't care about the fucking boards. All right? We didn't need boards. Fans would just stand there, eat a fucking puck, and then say, hey, got your fucking puck here. Keep playing. And then they keep playing.
Oh, yesterday was such a good time.
That's called toughness.
Yesterday.
That fucking guy.
Where's that,
Is that a
from?
Boston
South?
thing?
Is he from
No.
Southie?
Like you,
And what is it? Where's it from?
That is.
Where's he from? Charlestown?
I explained it to the guys as this: if you are from New England and you don't have a Boston accent, you might go to Boston one time and hear someone say a word with a Boston accent. You know, you can use yesterday for an example. So Orlovsky heard this and was like, oh my God, that's so fucking cool. I might use that. And so then going forward forever, I'm sure it's at UConn, he was like, oh yeah, like I have a Boston accent too, kind of. I say yesterday. It just happened when I was a kid. And that doesn't happen. Like I know people from my town, for instance, a suburb in outside of Boston. And I would go back, you know, and I hadn't seen someone for, say, 3-4 years. And all of a sudden that person's got a Boston accent. And I was like, hey, where the fuck do you think you grew up? Because you didn't grow up in a town where there's Boston accents, buddy. So I don't know where this came from.
Well, and I think a big part of it is if you have the Boston accent, you say that there is a flow to it.
Yeah.
That kind of yesterday just fits in there. You know?
For sure.
But we say hammer, Dahn, which is awesome.
Yeah,
the Inzer
no,
accent's the best one in the country, I think.
And well, with the Inzer accent, like Flyers.
Awesome.
Awesome. Like there are words, and I would even, you know, lean into it at times from being around you guys. But like, I'm not every single time I say flowers saying like, "Oh, nice flowers," like an asshole, like Orlovsky's doing with yesterday.
You're saying he stole a word, and now he's abusing it.
From a great city, and now he's being a fucking asshole about it.
It's all right. Dan will make it right.
He will.
Is there anything else on TV tonight?
Yes.
Okay. What is it?
Golf.
Really?
Oh, it is.
Yeah, Rory and Scoot Scheffler are facing off against Bryson and Brooks Koepka in a match, match on TNT.
It's lit up, right? It's lit up, isn't it?
It starts at 6 p.m. Eastern.
It's in Vegas?
Yes, it's in Vegas.
Is it Shadow Creek?
Yep,
Yes.
at Shadow Creek. Yep.
Oh yeah, they're having lights. I read about this.
That was sweet.
They're starting with best ball, and then they are going alternate shot, and then one-on-ones for the final 6
Can we
holes.
bet on
Six, 6, 6. I just looked. No.
Who's playing who again?
That would be the PGA versus Liv. That would be Rory and Scoot versus Bryson and Brooks.
Okay, so we got top guys.
Yeah, it's like a
mini Ryder Cup here.
Is Liv wearing the NWO All Blacks coming in
You would
with
hope
the
so.
white?
I saw blue and white.
Bryson was talking shit on the course yesterday.
Yeah.
I do like that Brooks, the only guy that kept the Nike deal. Everybody lost their deals and everybody wanted their own stuff. Brooks just walking around on every course wearing the same exact shit he was wearing.
Yeah, his deal was a little different.
Brooks was a guy. He was the guy.
What network?
TNT.
Oi!
Okay.
Oi!
Oi! Who's on the call, I wonder?
Chuck?
Chuck?
Probably. Let me look.
Ernie, maybe?
Who's
Because ABC has the NBA Cup.
There'll be some,
There's got to be like a host, right? And then someone walking the course.
is the filth in the sleeves? What are their
Gravy in the sleeve.
gravy in the sleeves? There it is. I forgot. Okay, you ever
No,
forget?
it's good. Yeah, all the time.
It's Ernie, it's Charles, it's Trevor Immelman, Faraty, Bubba Watson, and Lohan
Oh,
Jabbar.
sweet.
That should be a great.
It's a good crew.
That is a very.
Yeah.
That should be a great show.
Who's the last one?
I hope they all play well.
Lohan Jabara.
Who's that?
Lohan Jabara. Abara. That's how I would say it.
Well, it sounded like the accent. You knew who it was, and you were trying to imply where they were from.
No, that was just trying to cover up if I wasn't saying their name correctly.
And what's the name again?
Lohan Jabara.
Okay.
Oh, Lauren.
Lauren.
What? Lauren? Oh.
L-O or A-U?
AU, I believe. I just exited out.
He was done with it. I said it enough. Jabbar. Okay, so we're watching that. We're watching the Cup Coffee.
Yep.
We're watching the NBA Cup.
Big night.
Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks at 9. Holy shit.
What a
We got
night.
stuff.
D-Butch, you want to do a giveaway?
Let's do it.
What do you want to do?
Oh.
Hold on. We'll move that if you want because there is a little bit of a cluster.
No,
You could go through it.
I like the extra. Yeah, let's move that.
You could go through it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Badminton
Oh, my
has
God.
been introduced
Boy, oh boy.
to the Thunderdome via a Talk influence.
Where's the
And
final
Talk came up to me. I think he was on, Instagram or something. He maybe screenshotted it. And he said, can I buy this sport for the Thunderdome? And I said, no problem, buddy. And he said, I'm going to beat you in this game. And then it got here. It's a tough sport.
It's the worst sport.
And by tough, you mean worst?
It's like, hey, you want to play badminton, but it's really fucking dumb? Why don't you play this?
No.
Yeah.
Worst purchase of all time.
I'm a badminton guy. I love badminton.
It's 100
do you
times
play?
worse than badminton.
It's so
You
hard.
hit it through the fucking hole.
You got to hit the shuttlecock. You got to serve from at least 6 feet away. It's all coming back to me. Right now.
Yeah.
You got to serve from at least 6 feet away, and you got to hit it through the hole. And it's a shuttlecock that has a bunch of, and then there's a ball option as well. And you're using
You're using like a very small paddle. Like it's not as big.
It's hard, dude.
It
And it's
sucks.
pickleball scoring.
Wait, is somebody on
rules.
the other side of that little net?
Yeah, you're hitting it back and forth through the square. You hit the net, it's over. No points.
Oh.
It's hard because your natural move. I mean, I guess you could probably get good at it. I guess you could get.
Yeah,
good.
or you can get badminton, like a fun game, and just play that.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
This one's super expert, I think, for people with the badminton. I don't think it's for us. It's for people like Talk who grew up playing tennis.
Yeah.
Now he was the worst in the office at the game, and I think he was pretty bummed out about that. Don't you think, Foxy?
Yeah, he was. I mean, we picked it up pretty quick, but yeah, Talk's certainly the worst.
And he was piecing it together out here. He was so excited. Big old fucking smile on Talk's face as he was pointing at Jasmine's here, he even said. He's so excited. And then we started playing it. We're like, man. We all sat out here and watched.
You know how we have to execute him on live TV.
No, we're not doing that. Not doing that. Reels. Remember, we called them reels.
Right.
Reeling, dealing, talking.
Name change.
Do we have a 33 championship today?
Depends who's the champ.
I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Oh, that's me and you. Yeah, that's right.
That's not
again.
Those are not the titles.
Again.
That's for.
Yeah, but championships just happen to float around us.
Oh, you guys like magnets?
Yeah, it's weird how that happens.
I'll tell you what, Foxy and I have lost our. We've lost it.
We've been sleeping the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, we need an MCDC type speech to get us out of this funk, and we need to remember that molded fucking bread was just fine, man.
Yeah.
You
Enough
know?
steaks.
Things were getting a little too sweet with us. Me, more specifically with my jumper, I really thought I knew where the ball was going when I was shooting it there for a while.
Mine sucks too.
I can't fucking find it. I have no idea where it's going. It's tough.
And I don't think it didn't matter about your guys' jumpers last week when those two didn't miss back.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal show.
Yeah.
They went 19. No.
They were 9 for 10 in the first go around. They had a chance for 10 for 10, which is I don't think ever happened.
Yeah, it was. And then I think they went 8 or 7 the next one.
Yeah, I
of
think
10.
you're right.
As long as you're not losing to the Fatzos, you're okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Good point.
That would never happen.
Fatsos will be back on the hardwood tomorrow.
That'll never happen.
AQ and D-Bone. It has already happened. It will never happen again. That's one of those ones where if we're even close to losing to the Fatsos, like, you have a real conversation. Like, hey, this fucking cannot happen.
You got to fake a heart attack or something, right?
Yeah, knock over the board like it's checkers or chess.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, this game doesn't count.
Nope, dead. Sorry about it.
Doesn't count. Yep, never finished.
AQ, when he starts making his little shots, too, he starts really feeling it. He starts coaching up D-Bone.
Oh, man. I would love to watch that.
And D-Bone's got a good stroke.
Yeah.
D-Bone's
I've seen it.
he always steps sideways and then kind of does it. So he's juking out somebody. I don't know who the fuck's getting it, but he's crossing somebody up.
The devil, maybe.
And he's always
yeah.
He is crossing up.
shot.
Sorry.
He's crossing up the devil. He is crossing up
Yeah,
the
and
devil.
he does that.
Are they getting a bunch of tips, a bunch of hustle tips as well?
Oh, yeah,
They've gotten much better on defense.
Fatsos can jump, brother.
Fatsos.
Pat tipped one in yesterday or last week over his head from like 15 feet out and it went straight in the bucket.
I felt real good about that.
Nice.
Felt real good.
It's
about
got to feel good, yeah.
that. Defense is where you win these games.
Yes.
And our last game was 46-44, I think was what the score was, or something like that.
The last one?
Yeah. Because we missed 2 tips, and it was like very evident that was it.
We don't do
Oh,
that.
that was 2 weeks ago.
You
yes.
make a mistake underneath, and it's like, that just cost us.
Our games are always 1 or 2 points.
Yeah, you can feel it. You literally can't feel it. And it's like, oh, we just lost it. Before we even get to shoot, we fucking lost it right there. Can't be giving away those points.
Yep.
Can't
They
be
all
letting-
matter. This corner always comes down to this corner.
The do corner.
Now it's tighter. Now we got a tree in the do machine.
Yeah, shout out to the Mountain Dew people. We would certainly do a business deal with you. You sent us just a cooler and a bunch of fucking Mountain Dew. Sweet.
Yeah.
Love them. Drink them every day.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody does, but I do know that it looks super cool over there. No, you do.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
D-Bone sucks down at least 3 a day.
I do the do.
I didn't know D-Bone even knew what Mountain Dew.
Well, he has his gallon of Dr. Pepper at 8 in the morning to get things started.
Jesus. D-Bone doesn't deserve
He doesn't even order anymore in the morning. He just pulls in his car and they're like, Bone's here!
Yeah, that is an issue.
And that's real.
He's been pulling into McDonald's breakfast and they, not kidding, recognize his voice, know his order, and just say, yep, you're good, pull ahead. He's told us that.
What you get?
So he does a howdy doody when
Yeah.
the thing up, they go, Bone.
He gives him a $50 bill at the beginning of the week, so the rest of the week he doesn't even have to stop to pay.
Oh, he's just putting the pay stub on the bar at McDonald's?
It's like clocking in.
He gets a big breakfast. He gets the pancakes and sausage.
He gets triple pancakes, triple sausage.
Hold on, wait a second. Bone.
That is
Bone, you got
real.
a tab at McDonald's?
Yeah.
He does.
And then an XLDP.
Hey, sometimes you just want to go where everybody knows your name.
Exactly. But he's also had a deal with McDonald's that I told him, I was like, hey, this has never happened to anyone in the history of McDonald's. Every day he comes in, he's like, yeah, they just threw in an Egg McMuffin for me. They don't do that. Every time this guy goes to McDonald's, they throw in a new menu item for him. So I think they just know, like, hey, without this guy, this place is going under. So let's kind of
Throw a bone.
Yeah, let's throw him a bone, if you will. Yeah, exactly.
D-Bone's had a microphone back there. Is this true? I did not know any of this was the case.
Yeah, the last few weeks I've been going to McDonald's, last few weeks I've been going to McDonald's.
Few
And,
So bad.
well, when they start recognizing my order, I'll go up and I say, I'll have an order of hotcakes with extra sausages on the side. And she goes, Dr. Pepper, pull around, thanks.
She finishes your order?
Yeah. That's been going on for about a month now.
Got a photo of him on the wall.
Yeah, that's good
Treat
service.
this guy well.
It is great service.
Love
I
you
love
call
it.
them hotcakes.
That's why McDonald's is McDonald's.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you get some flapjacks, fucking Dr. Pepper, got it. No problem. Thank you, Mr. Bone. What a morning.
Did he go through the drive-thru when he was dressed as Kane for Halloween?
He showed up here dressed as Kane, so I'd assume.
That's what I'm wondering. I hope he ordered like that.
Same car. Are you
Jesus Christ.
you Dr. Pepper?
I had no bone with Glenn Jacobs.
There's been a lot of Canes bouncing around.
Yeah.
Have you seen them on the internet?
Oh, yeah. Cocaine.
Cocaine's a problem. So much energy.
Candy? Canes?
Kane.
Candy canes coming around. Good call. Yeah. Candy cane games.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Thursday, NFL football.
What?
Friday, college football playoff.
What?
Saturday, NFL football, college football playoff.
What?
Sunday, NFL football.
What?
Monday night, NFL football.
What?
Wednesday, NFL football.
What?
Thursday, NFL football.
What?
A lot of football.
It's a lot of football.
Yeah, it's a lot of football.
Good football.
Gotta
Great
love
football.
Meaningful football.
Oh, yeah.
The candy cane games that are taking place on Saturday and Christmas Wednesday, because the teams that are playing on Christmas, which are these four teams, they have to play on Saturday so that they have at least 4 days in between the game, because this is just like a Sunday, Thursday outfit. So now they're playing on Saturday and they're playing on Christmas Day. They'll have a candy cane pendant on their jerseys.
So sweet.
And it's dope.
It is. You can see it too. It's like,
yeah.
Holy
jingle bells, jingle all the way.
One candy cane or two?
No, dual candy canes.
Cross.
Right.
Boom.
Sweet.
Okay.
That's what they'll look like down below, you see.
So people watching from different countries know it's Christmas.
I'll be like, wait, those are candy canes.
Yeah, and then they'll say, these are the candy cane games.
Wow.
It must be Christmas.
They better be selling those jerseys with the
They will.
patch on, because I'm going to need to get one.
$400 extra dollars.
Fine by me.
Which one are you going to get?
I don't know, because I'm not a fan of any of the four teams. So
Juju.
No,
Could get a Juju
probably not
one.
Juju. Maybe Pat Fryermuth.
You're going to get a muff?
Yeah, maybe.
Good call.
What about a Boz? You can maybe get a Boz.
Maybe Boz. He's close to breaking the record.
Oh, Linderbaum.
Boom.
That's who you're getting.
Done deal.
Those are going to be tough, maybe. Probably very available to find.
Linderbaum? No, I'll have to do a little, back channeling to get one, I assume, but I'll get it done.
They'll definitely have a muff one.
They should have a Muth one.
What
I would
about
think.
CJ Stroud?
Yeah.
What? Friend of the program.
No, I know, but I can't. I mean, quarterback's a horse of a different color. I can't be wearing another quarterback's jersey.
Oh, because Jordan Love, future
Exactly.
of the NFL.
Exactly. Can't be doing that.
CJ Stroud, future of the NFL.
Probably get a Aziz Al-Shire one.
There you go.
Because he's not going to be able to wear it, so I will.
In honor? But the Steelers are playing, so wouldn't you want
Why
a
don't you
Steelers?
just want the Steelers?
Well, yeah, I'll get all 53 of those, but I'm going to get one of.
I appreciate you doing that and supporting the NFL. They need your money. I wish Mike Tomlin had a jersey.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be sweet.
I'd buy it.
Well, he's got
He's got the shirts.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's
I'm
got
fucking working here.
Yep.
And he's got shoes.
Tomlin selling shoes?
Well, he's
Black
got the
Air
black Air
Forces.
Forces.
Those okay. Okay. In New York they call those Uptowns Air Forces. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that.
Really?
I did not know that.
What are Dantons?
Uppies, I believe, which people call very different things in my world. But I believe Uptowns are the Air Force Ones. Those are, I think, best shoes ever created.
Yeah, they've had the longest run.
Yeah. Still.
For sure, yeah.
Still bringing it.
Converse had a good.
Chuck Taylors were a very, very good run. I think so. Still around.
Yep.
Still doing it. Still bringing
it.
Still bringing it. All right, let's go. D-Butch, what are you're throwing a football through the
Yes,
jazz
sir.
mitten? Now, it's going to be hard to see if it goes through, which was a part of the problem with the badminton thing.
Right. Yeah.
You didn't, or jazz mitten thing.
You gonna go through both of them, through Jasmine and into the three-holer?
So it won't go into the three-holer because the bear claw is actually right where the hole is.
That's the best defending bear I've seen in the last 24 hours.
Come on.
Maybe Eberflus wasn't the problem. Or Shane Waldron.
Or Justin Fields.
Or Mitchell Trubisky. We had a good little laugh there at their expense.
We did.
You didn't deserve that, Zito.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's hurting.
He is in a bad
He's
spot.
down bad.
Yeah, he knows it's going to be a tough couple years.
Yeah.
Decades.
Decade, maybe.
Yeah.
Number 1 overall pick.
And number 9.
Best situation ever for a number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
We said it.
Yeah.
And all the other rookie quarterbacks.
Who?
They're all really good.
Who?
Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Bo Nix, Penix, I guess. They told
And
Orlovsky.
he's tremendous.
He's great.
Has Caleb had an opportunity yet?
I mean, he's throwing.
Last night I saw him miss. I mean, there were some missed throws that I did not, because I thought Caleb's arm talent was.
And his O-line stinks.
His O-line does stink.
It's not as bad as New England's.
And he's worried about
I'll tell you that right now. Matter of factly, it is not as bad as New England's. And he doesn't have 2 All-Pros at wide receiver.
So I think Keenan Allen made some big catches.
He did.
He's back.
He pats a lot.
DJ Moore.
Who?
Caleb. He's a fucking potter.
Oh, yeah.
He wears his emotions on his sleeve.
Sure. You can't do that if you're, the CEO
Thought it was in
of an
physical
NFL
pain.
team.
Jim McMahon never
He
potted.
could have. Well,
You're right.
A little different quarterback.
You're right.
I think you're right. I think he did have a spasm. That's why he was doing that.
When he was
It was a
flopping around
spasm.
like a fish on the bench.
He did take a big hit before.
He did. He got
but-
fucking
Yeah,
blasted.
he got.
Yeah, he's just trying to breathe. Let the guy breathe. He's giving his all.
He's farting. Right there. All right, I'm good.
That was after his double spin move, backwards jump with no one around.
There was somebody around whenever he did the jump. I saw a lot of people saying, this guy's jumping for no reason. He felt that one guy.
The guy didn't die.
If that guy would have dove,
It would have been cool.
the little hop steppy thing would have worked.
He was
But the Caleb shit so far has not really worked.
Still giveaway? We'll try to at least. It's a holiday season.
It's holiday season.
We're in the middle of the candy cane games. All you got to do, D-Butch, is put that football into...
Just threw the Jasmine, and is that the game? I don't know.
This seems like a cop-out a little bit.
It's a big target.
It's a huge target.
But
left-handed.
That's pretty tough.
AJ said you should throw it left-handed if this is what you want
It
to
is
do.
the holiday season.
This is pretty tough because as much as the ball goes into the hole, not often does it actually hit the hole.
Sometimes it falls into.
Sometimes it hits the center and then just goes into a hole.
All right, D-Butch. You put the ball through the Jazz Mitten square over there.
Okay.
We will give 30 people $500 on this glorious holiday Tuesday. D-Butch!
Too easy. Never mind.
That should not count.
No, that doesn't count.
That should not count.
Good job, D-Butch.
That doesn't count.
I mean, that was a really good throw. It was perfect.
That was a good throw.
He knew too.
Great
He
throw.
didn't let you right when you said okay. 30 people, $500. He fucking
Boom.
stepped up.
Just got stepping to go. See that shit, Caleb? Just step through.
This is because it's a holiday season. Broadside of the barn celebration is what we just did right now.
Yeah. Dig should have to make it too.
No, 30 people, $500.
Hell yeah.
Because Darius J. Butler just delivered, you know?
He did.
Good ball.
A lot of people miss layups.
That's right.
Boom.
That's part of development. That's part of growth. So for $15,000 being on the line and you just stepping up like that this holiday season,
Hell yeah.
you just made a lot of people happier. Thank you, D-Bush. Way to go. I mean, kind of the easiest one we've ever had here. But what?
Well, no.
You could have failed.
Could have.
There was a shorter throw.
Which one?
Someone got real close to that thing and then just threw it in there.
Oh, no.
Absolute strike.
Bam.
Oh, yeah, there was a shorter one. Much shorter.
Yeah, so that one wasn't the easiest ever, but
Wait, what was the short? I don't remember that. Was I
Yeah,
here for that?
we didn't move on.
yeah,
We didn't move on.
You remember.
Guys, a winner wanted to win. So what?
it was smart. Heady
Oh.
player.
Okay.
You remember?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Walked all the way over there. Didn't explain that in the rules.
No.
That was,
Loophole.
Next love.
let's get out of here. Tomorrow's a big one.
Huge.
We got a big show tomorrow.
Yeah.
Huge.
I'm honored that I get to be back here tomorrow, hopefully.
God willing.
We shall.
That I get to work with you guys yet again.
Same.
Likewise.
Me too.
It's not just us tomorrow, though, boys. There's a wrecking ball coming through. an Army Ranger, Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
Half of the fats.
MMA. One half.
One half.
One time 33 champ.
Is he a black belt yet?
I think they gave him one, yeah.
In his
He's on his second stripe.
I think it was brown, but then he dyed it in the pool.
Sure.
And then,
Look, guys.
yeah, I did it, right? There's a
too.
chance. I mean, I would not want to, like, think
No
about
way.
those.
Never go near AQ.
Think about those. AQ and I have wrestled before. Boozed. Terrible decision on my part.
Yeah.
Because, like, that is literally his gig. You know, like that. He says, hey, I'm just going to get up under here. There's a chance we end up through a table. I mean, you know, like there's some real, him going into some basement with a bunch of these olds, and I don't know how old they are. I'm just, the way he described the group that was going in there, and they're just throwing hands at each other. It's like, never in a million years do I want to be on the opposite side of AQ Shipley ever, let alone if I'm 50 years old and AQ's still trying to find that itch, you know, a little bit of, but he's got good control. He's got good mitt control.
Yeah.
He's got good mitt control. But he'll,
Glazer beat the shit out of him, but
I was gonna say certain guys in there relish the opportunity to fucking put a couple on AQ.
Who?
Jay Glazer.
He looks like he's having a good time.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him.
Living.
Every post I see, he's like having a great time. That's good to see.
Yeah.
I'm happy for. Hey, we're happy for you, Jay.
Love you, Jay.
Jay.
All right, let's get the hell out of here. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It's holiday season. Might change your life. We're in this thing together. Team on me. Team on three. 1, 2, 3.
Team.
Goodbye.